Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Walter Cross Field here at Kokomo High School as we bring you North Central Conference football tonight. The Red Devils play their final game of the regular season this evening against the Kokomo Wildcats, coming off a huge win last week over Harrison. I'm Troy Daragowski. Great to have you with us here on the pregame show. And tell you what, young man, as we look at this one here tonight, the rain has been coming down. It is senior night. It is cold. It is nasty. Brandon Evans, what is going to be, of course, a night of the final game of the regular season is not going to be a fun night for anyone involved in this one this evening.
Right, and we saw last week Zach Hill had problems holding onto the ball because the weather conditions made it a little humid. Obviously, the ball was wet. Could have costed them there. Not throwing shade on Zach at all, it happens.
Yeah.
We're going to see how he's going to do with this one. Maybe he wasn't expecting the ball to be wet, but he's expecting the ball to be wet tonight. And if he's not, then got to get something straight here.
Well, another aspect of this one here tonight, Brandon, is the Red Devils showed up late. We had a real difficult time getting up 31. It was like stop-and-go traffic for at least 30 minutes. So the Red Devils got here late. Now they say they're going to go ahead and we're going to kick it off at 7 o'clock. There was some word maybe we might not because of the late arrival time of the Red Devils, but they feel they're going to be ready to go tonight.
I don't know if Coach Lewis said he wanted to be here or still kick off at 7 or not, but I don't feel like that was the smartest choice if it was in Coach Lewis's hand. Like you said, the Red Devils got here late, and they just got off they left at, 3:15?
Yeah.
And it's now 6:30.
Yeah.
They've been on a bus for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
I'll tell you what, sometimes that may not be a bad thing. You get off the bus, let's warm up a little bit. Maybe your normal routine isn't there, but let's just go play.
Right. Well, sometimes as a player coming out to Kokomo and Lafayette, Jeff, you need to have your feet under you.
Yeah.
And sometimes being on a bus for that long isn't your best friend.
Yeah, your feet, well, we were frustrated coming up here. I can certainly understand how they would feel as well. We're going to talk about Kokomo coming up in a little bit. We'll scout them here in just a moment. But, they had a great win last week. Their starting quarterback is back for tonight's matchup, so that's not good news for the Red Devils as their starter was out a little bit last week. Their backup came in, got them to a win over Harrison. That was a huge win for them. Richard Benberry has changed this whole complexion of this football team. They went to the state finals in 5A last year, running the wing T offense. Now they're a spread offense, and so Richmond has to see something completely different in this one here tonight. But you're now running up against a team that is playing its best football perhaps the entire year, and it might be the same way next week when we play Connorsville.
Right, and you mentioned the different offenses. We saw Clayton Raper said that he felt more comfortable with the new formation and seeing something they haven't seen this year so far. So that may just be a him thing, or it may just be a whole team thing. I'm not really sure there.
Well, playing against the wing tee, it's not a whole lot of fun to watch, and it's not a whole lot of fun to try to defend because there's so many different things that go on in such a small space. We'll tell you what, we're going to get rolling here because, again, it is senior night. They're still planning to kick this thing off at 7. We had put on our Twitter page that we might be running a little bit late. Now, we are on the pregame, but we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling when we come back here on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. We're going to hear from the head coach, Tony Lewis, get his thoughts about tonight's matchup. And if we get a chance, we may also hear from one of the players who really has had a good year. We don't talk much about him, though, is Jewel Taylor. We'll get his thoughts as he's been moved from linebacker to defensive end, and then he's been moved to linebacker again, and he's been all over the place, but he's going to be a valuable key for the Red Devils here tonight against the Wildcats. Richmond 1-7, Kokomo 3-5. Richmond looking for their first win in the North Central Conference. It's coming up in a couple of moments right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com.
We check them better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory-trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back 'em better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top-flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
Coach, I tell you what, I felt as bad for a football team or any other sport I've covered over the years as I did for you guys on Friday night. I know that was a tough one to lose and so close, and yet just couldn't get it done there at the end.
Yeah, it was. It was a great high school football game to be involved in. Both teams battling, both teams struggling leading into the game. Obviously, both of us 1-6, both of us wanting a win. Thought our kids gave great effort. You know, their kids just made a few more plays. Their quarterback scrambles for some big plays, throwing the ball downfield, got behind our DBs at times, and then, you know, we got the ball back, drove it down the field. Quavion Allen had a couple big runs, got us inside the 4-yard line, 1st and goal at the 4, and we couldn't punch it in there and had the unfortunate fumble on 3rd down. But can't fault the kids' effort. I thought we played extremely hard. Defensively, couldn't get pressure on their quarterback as much as we would like to. You know, and we just got to learn from it and hope to take that thought process of having a good week of practice, leading into playing better on Friday night into next week's game with Kokomo.
You know, despite the loss, I went back and looked at some of the game highlights, and you had a lot of nice plays in there, whether it was Julian Holguin, of course, Trayshawn Jones had a big day. We mentioned on Friday after the game, your young running backs came up for you as well, so there were a lot of bright spots.
There were. You know, you mentioned Trayshawn. He made a bunch of big catches. Julian got us rolling with a big touchdown catch to start the game, had some nice runs for us as well. And, you know, overall, Zach threw the ball pretty well during the game. We had the freshman running back, a junior running back who hadn't played in a long time, carrying the ball. And our offensive line, running-wise, we did a decent job. We still have to clean up some things up front, some missed assignments on our zone and our power, but overall, we were able to run the ball. We just couldn't get it in. We weren't able to run it from the 4, and we have to be able to do that in big games like that. And as we told the kids on Saturday morning in the weight room that, you know, those kind of games come down to 3 to 4 plays, and, you know, how well you block on the perimeter. You know, we had a jet sweep. We didn't get a block there to get Julian in for a 2-point conversion. If 1 or 2 of those 2-point conversions go our way and we stop 1 or 2 of theirs, it's a different ball game. But it is what it is. We've got to learn from it and move on to an improving Kokomo team.
Hey, what is the team's reaction after the game? I guess it would be different Friday than it would be Saturday, but were they more upbeat on Saturday? And
yeah, I think so. Obviously, they were really upset on Saturday. But as we told them after the game, there were a lot of bright spots, as you mentioned. We need to take the positives from a good week of practice and continue to improve on those kind of things. Saturday, when we came in and lifted and watched film, I think their mood was a lot better on Saturday, and we tried to accentuate the positives. There's always going to be constructive criticism when you're watching film of things that we can do better, but I think they took away the fact that we definitely had our chances in that game, and we just got to do a better job of finishing in the future.
Two key players did not play. One of those that, again, he was a gutsy player to play last week in Blaine Pierce because of the hand situation. And then, of course, Wyatt Bird didn't play last week as well because of the head injury. So.
Right, those are two big spots for us. Obviously, Wyatt's a really good running back for us, has done a great job all year. He's on concussion protocol. Blaine has the hurt hand and wasn't able to go. And, even someone that – we forget about is Gage Pewterball, who was our backup kicker, who, kicking and punting, field position's a big key to high school football. We talk about the importance of special teams all the time and winning the battle of field position. So Gage has been out with a hurt knee, but he's cleared now and should be able to practice this week, and that'll hopefully help us going into this week's game against Kokomo and hopefully into the tournament.
Well, I'll tell you what, you speak of the tournament. We found out on Sunday night who you're going to play. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Kokomo Wildcats. I mentioned to Coach right before we started today's interview that seems like you play these teams right when they keep getting better and better. It was Anderson, and now it's going to be Kokomo. We'll talk about the Wildcats coming up next. The Indiana Football Hall of Fame in Richmond, Indiana was founded in 1973. Its mission is to honor the men and women who have excelled in high school, college, or professional football based on their coaching, athletic ability, citizenship, scholarship, and significant supporting contributions to the game of football. The Indiana Football Hall of Fame includes retrospection from Indiana's prestigious football history, from the late 1800s to the present. When you visit the hall, you'll see the names like Weebu Bank, Vegas Ferguson, Newt Rockne, and Lamar Lundy. The Indiana Football Hall of Fame is located at 815 North A Street in Richmond and is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. There is no entrance fee and donations are appreciated. Take time to visit Indiana football history at the Indiana Football Hall of Fame.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Well, the Red Devils will play Connorsville in the first round of the sectional tournament. Before we get to that, let's talk about Kokomo. Tell you what, I watched them. They struggled early, but now all of a sudden you get them right when they're starting to play better. They beat Harrison last week. Talk a little bit about what you see in the Wildcats.
Well, we have film on them from early on in the year, and obviously they started off slow. I think they started off maybe 0-3, 0-4. And now they're starting to roll. The running game's going well for them. They play really good defense. They're big up front. They've got a really good defensive line. They got some guys back from last year. They run to the football well defensively. Last week against Lafayette Harrison, which is a team that's gotten some votes in the polls, they outplayed Harrison, beat them 13-10. So they're playing extremely well right now. Last week they didn't have their quarterback. Not sure what that situation is, but they've got a good receiver, 2 to 3 really good running backs. They have a good offensive line, good defensive line, and that's kind of where high school football starts up front. And they've got those two things going for them, and they're playing well. They've got a lot of confidence coming into this game. It's the last game of the year heading into the tournament. Obviously, we, along with they, both want to be playing well heading into the tournament. So it's an important game for us, another long bus ride, but we're excited about the opportunity.
Coach, for so many years watching their offense, and it wasn't fun to watch. I mean, from a fan standpoint, but they won football games. What did they change now with the new head coach?
Well, it's a totally different offense. Last year it was an off-tackle, pitch the ball, quarterback lead up through, a power offense, off-tackle, and it got them all the way to state championship. Obviously their former coach felt like that was their best way to be successful, run clock, take care of your defense and run the football off tackle. This year they've spread it out a little bit. They've got a really 2 to 3 really good receivers, running back that runs extremely hard. They'll get in some spread formations, some trips formations, and they, with the quarterback they've had most of the year, they'll throw the ball way downfield. They love to throw the long ball, and so we're going to have to prepare. The quarterback they had this past week is more of a runner, so we'll see who we get, but we're going to have to prepare for both.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, let me tell you what, we do now know how the tournament field's going to look for you guys. You're going to go back to back to Connorsville, coming up in the first week of the tournament. You and I have talked about this before. It's a different animal when you get into tournament play, and I can remember, and you probably have many memories too, Richmond one time just recently, they beat Anderson in the regular season, lose to them in the tournament. They beat Newcastle in the regular season badly, lose to them by 1 in the tournament. You've got to be ready to play when the tournament time rolls around.
As we told our kids on Saturday, it's the second season. Everybody's 0-0, and the teams that are playing their best are the ones that are going to advance. And, really us beating Connorsville earlier on in the year has no bearing on this game whatsoever. Our kids need to understand that. Our staff understands it. Our fans need to understand that. And obviously we have to have the mindset that it's going to be a totally different game. We have to go over there. We got to go on the road again. But we're playing better football, I feel like. I'm sure they're playing better football. Haven't seen recent film of them, but I'm sure we'll get 2 to 3 films from the recent games. So, I'm sure there's slightly a revenge factor coming back and playing them again. And it's tough to beat a team twice in the same season. So those things are all going against us, but our kids need to understand we're playing better football, and we need to go over and play the way we can, and not the first game has no bearing on this game.
Very true. And by the way, depending on, I know last week they only lost by 1, so again, it might be another team where you're going to catch them on the uprise again.
I think so. Most teams improve throughout the year, and obviously based on their scores, they're improving as well. So going to be a good game for us, and we're looking forward, as we told our kids, doesn't matter what you did in the regular season. This is the second season. This is where teams, there's a lot of upsets that happen in the tournament, and, let the best man win.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Since 1994, Beach Automotive has provided motorists in the Richmond area with comprehensive auto repair services that include car and truck care, alignment, brakes, tires, engine, transmission, and more. You'll be hard-pressed to find the same level of expertise that our auto mechanic specialists provide. For a high-performing vehicle, trust Beach Automotive. To learn more, call 765-966-8181. Beach Automotive, 110 East Main Street, Richmond.
We are back once again here at Walter Cross Field as we get set for tonight's matchup. By the way, the kickoff is now officially at 7:05 here this evening. Again, 7:05 on senior night. Time to scout tonight's opponent, the Kokomo Wildcats. They come in at 3-5. They were state runner-ups last year in Class 5A. Richard Benberry in his first year with this program, though he's been an assistant with the Wildcats, so he's not new to the program, but he brought in a different offense. No longer running the wing T. He is a spread offense guy coming in, and so far this year averaging just under 18 points per game, but also giving up 35. And a lot of those numbers coming early in the year, especially when they gave up 77 to New Pal in the first game of the season. They run the football a little. They're not a great running football team, averaging 91 yards per game. They like to throw the football, and their quarterback will be starting here tonight. He was injured last week, and he was kind of questionable coming into this one here tonight, but he will start. He is now, at least at this point, as a team, they're throwing 188 yards per game. Jeremy Baker, their leading rusher, he will come off the bench here tonight. He is averaging around 8.5 yards per carry, so he's going to be a force to be reckoned with here tonight. Levi Rabos is their starting quarterback, 98 of 198, 1,369 yards and 8 touchdowns. His favorite target will be Stephen Edwards. Getting a big win last week. They knocked off Harrison 13-10. They've won 3 straight. They beat Muncie Central, Logansport, and Harrison. And when these two teams get together, the Red Devils generally don't play very well here in Kokomo, and the Red Devils are going to have to really play extremely well. The weather is going to be nasty tonight. The rain continues to fall, and the Red Devils, again, coming in at 1-3 on the road this season. We will come back as we continue once again here in Kokomo, our final game of the regular season. We'll have more on the one and only Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show coming up in just a few moments. Stay right there. This is Richmond Football and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Yeah, just stepped outside a couple of moments ago, and the rain is very, very steady. So if we don't see some turnovers here tonight, if we see no turnovers, I'll walk back to Richmond because I think we're going to see a lot of footballs slipping and sliding all over here this evening. We're going to get to the keys to the game coming up here in just a couple of moments. Tonight's game brought to you in part by your Richmond area Subways. Each day of the week, you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors. Only $3.50 every Friday, the tuna. Saturday, the Black Forest ham. And Sunday, the meatball marinara. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. All right, Brendan, the table is set. The Red Devils lost a tough one last week, a game that they really had opportunities to win there at the end. Turnovers cost him in that football game. They're going to play a Wildcat football team that has won 3 straight. They're feeling good about themselves, heading closer and closer to the tournament. For Richmond, let's start with them first. What they got to do tonight to, well, especially a nasty night, hold on to the football and make very few mistakes.
Going back to last week a bit, like you said, they did have a rough game. Commentating on WCTV, they should have won that game.
Yeah.
That was a very winnable game. Mental errors from both teams. Ultimately, Anderson just came up, and they wanted it more. They took the game. Not throwing anything bad on Richmond. It happens.
Yeah.
Going to tonight, weather's going to be a huge factor, but they're ready for the weather. I'm sure they've gotten a prep talk from Coach. Hey, the ball's wet. Hold on tighter than you have the long time.
Yeah.
We've seen some turnovers. A couple weeks ago, Julian Holguin just running and somebody knocked the ball out of his hand. Yeah. Nasty weather. This is the kind of ball game we're going to see again tonight, in my opinion.
Well, Kokomo, I think defensively, they are better than they looked at the beginning of the year. When we looked at that earlier score of 77-0 to New Pal, New Pal beats everybody 77-0. But I think it raised some eyebrows because this is a football team for Kokomo that had still plenty of talent from last year's runner-up team. Lost some key players, but when you get beat 77-0 out of the gate, of course, it probably took them a little bit of time to adjust from running the wing T formation to a spread offense, so it took them a while to get the offense going, and they probably they feel better about their offense right now. So,
right, we heard that a little bit from Clayton Raper earlier in the week, putting up the player interview that you did with him earlier. So he says he's comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Let's see how the entire team was.
Yeah,
because you can only play 1/11 of the team.
Yeah.
So.
And the thing is, if you don't run up against an option team very often, which in high school football, it's not as rare as you might think, but it's becoming more rare because coaches are going to the spread. Players like to play in the spread. They want to throw the football around. So things have changed in high school football. You just don't see teams running a tight T formation like that in a wing T like Kokomo had for many, many years, but it was very, very successful.
Obviously.
All right. By the way, you'll see a little bit of a glare in our picture here tonight simply for the fact that we had to move everything inside. Last time we were outside, but we're inside because of the heavy rains that we're potentially going to see tonight. Even if it's not heavy, Brandon, it's going to be steady the entire evening. And so that's going to be a huge factor, so we apologize for a little bit of the glare you'll see in your picture here tonight. Kokomo's won the last two meetings, 32-22. The last time we played here, I remember it well, 55-21 back in 2015. So it's been a while since these two teams have played each other. But nonetheless, the last time we were here, we didn't have a whole lot of success. And, you go back over the years against Kokomo, we have a tough time playing here.
Yeah, they've always seemed to be a very strong team coming in here.
We'll take a break. We'll come back as we continue in the pregame show right here on Radio Troy Digital Sport.
Our community, it's where we live, it's where we work, it's where we play. At West End Bank, we're not just in the community, we're a part of the community. And that's why we support over 100 programs for local nonprofits and schools, including our financial literacy program that positively impacts countless students throughout the area. You bank locally, so we give back locally to watch people grow with endless possibilities.
Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft-Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond. Are you looking for the right place to work out? A place where you have several choices and can have fun at the same time? Well, that place is right here in Richmond, Family Fitness Works. Family Fitness Works has spinning, Zumba, kickboxing, core works, kick fit, body pump, body flow, and much, much more. And don't forget, Family Fitness Works also has Richmond's most extensive free weights and Nautilus in the area. Check out their website at familyfitness.com or stop by at 213 North 3rd Street in Richmond.
Indiana University East is growing. Enrollment has doubled since 2007, and IU East is the university of choice in this region. With athletic programs, internship opportunities, bachelor's and master's degrees, and a growing number of degree programs on campus and online, it is easy to see why IU East is a leader on campus and in the community. Learn more about the many opportunities Indiana University East offers at iue.edu. IU. Focused on you.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
For the past 35 years, Van Vliet Insurance has built a reputation of bringing a personal touch. That's because at Van Vliet, it's all about you, your needs, your life, and our town. Along with providing quality coverage to individuals, families, and local businesses, we're proud of our community and the opportunity we have to protect your future within it. Van Vliet Insurance, an Erie Insurance representative. Hometown professionals at work for you.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf and I approve this message.
Finding just the right used car can be a daunting task unless you shop at Tony's Car Sales in Richmond. Hi, this is Troy Naragowski. I can guarantee you one thing. Tony's professional staff will help you every step of the way without all that pressure of buying a new car. Hey, I bought my last 2 cars from Tony's, and it has been a great experience every time. Tony's has lots of one-owner cars, SUVs, and trucks ready for you today. Tony's Car Sales, 250 National Road West in Richmond. Little Sheba's Restaurant and Zini's Place. Come join us in Richmond at 175 Fort Wayne Avenue or at our newest location in Centerville at 129 East Main Street. Grab one of our gourmet pizzas, a deluxe sandwich, steak or fresh salad, and an ice-cold beer or your favorite wine. Featuring live music every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, plus more in our smoke-free environment. 10% discount with a valid student ID. It's better than being home. We are at a wet Walter Cross Field here tonight as the Red Devils and the Wildcats get set to play the final game of the regular season. I was mentioning to Brendan, we were here one time back in 2009. It was pouring rain that night, and the Red Devils ended up losing that night 64-0, so they don't like playing in the rain when we come to Kokomo. Wildcat football team, as we mentioned, Rabos, their starting quarterback, will be back 6'1", 182, and a senior. He's going to try to throw the football tonight. I think both teams want to try to throw, and Richmond last week had some success throwing the football and got really a very good game from Trayshawn Jones. He had a very, very nice night. Julian Holguin had a big night as well. I think they'll be the 2 big targets here for the Red Devils tonight as well. But I'm going to look on the other side of the ledger as well and talk about defense. I think Red Devils are going to have to find a way to get some turnovers here tonight. When they get the turnovers, they're going to have to find a way to get the football into the end zone when they get the ball in the red zone as well. So there's a couple of keys here for the Red Devils to walk out here successful on this wet night. Next week, we will be on the road at Connorsville, and that means the tournament opens up. And that is a 7 o'clock start time, barring any delays or any rain delays or anything like that. So we'll be on the air next week beginning at 6:30. And looking forward to the new tournament getting underway again this year. Do want to mention tonight, also we'll keep you updated on our Twitter account on Radio Troy. We have a reporter that is going to be at the Centerville game tonight. We also have one at Union County this evening. And, of course, we'll have all the scores for you either coming up later tonight or bright and early tomorrow morning on our scoreboard and the sports page as well. So we're about ready to wind down another high school football season. We're now just waiting for both teams to come on out and get themselves ready to go as, again, both teams will be battling the elements here this evening. The Wildcats now finally making their way out onto the field. We'll see them come out here in just a moment. The Red Devils out and ready to go. This will be the first time, though, they played in some bad weather this year. They haven't played in cold, bad weather. So it is about as fallish as you can feel tonight.
They've gotten a lot of crappy weather over this season, more than recent seasons I've noticed.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
So I wonder if it's just Coach Lewis bringing it with him or not. But.
Or global warming, one of the two.
Either way.
Yeah, it could be either one. Either one it is. It seems like we've run into a lot of rain this year. And it wasn't the rain last week against Anderson, though late in the game the football got wet and we were on top of the roof at Leibold Field, and it ended up getting very wet up there only because of all the dew that kept falling. And so you can see why it could be a little misleading, that ball getting loose at times last week for the Red Devils. So Wildcats are out, and the Red Devils out. We'll wait for the captains to meet at midfield. You will have your shadow in there all game long, so we're looking forward to that. That is our camera operator right there in the middle of the picture. No, you can't sit down and run the camera either. That's not fair. You gotta let people see us. And we told them you're going to be in it anyway. So
they'll be disappointed.
I know they will. I'm disappointed. Yeah, there you go. Wave to everybody. Well, it's better than being outside. I'll tell you that. It is not fun. This press box was built just a couple of years ago, and it's beautiful.
Oh, it's wonderful.
But the only thing they left out of it was a bathroom. So you got to run down to the
literally sprint.
Yeah, you got to sprint if you want to make it back in time. So you got to sprint down to the concession stand to go to the bathroom.
And it's like wherever you go, the elevator's on the other floor.
It is. It's always But they did a great job here, and there's two places that have taken a step above. One is Lafayette Jeff, and one is here, where they've just done a fantastic job. Their facilities
Absolutely
for football
wonderful.
are second to none in the state of Indiana. So in Kokomo, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, their turf is new this year. They had gone up until either this year or last year. Yeah,
it looks different.
Where they had the grass still. So they did it in sections where they did the press box and the new stands and everything, and they did the outer gates and the entryway and scoreboard and everything, and then they put the turf in the following year. So we are waiting for the captains to meet. I know we're kind of in a little bit of delay here. Well, they're going to meet again. Unless they're going to change it, just let's go with it. But the four captains you see right there at the bottom of your screen, that are the four captains for the Kokomo Wildcats. And we're just kind of in a waiting mode right now for both teams to get this thing going. And Brendan's already heading to a break. You can see when he leaves, too, because you'll see his glare right there as he walks out of the picture. You should just stand there and hold your arms up like that. You could keep all the light out of the picture there.
We do have a tarp, don't we? Just hang it behind her?
You know what we could do is just open up your umbrella and put it behind you.
Bad luck, remember, Troy? Doors are already open, so,
I had to. I took a tarp outside and covered up our crowd mic because it was getting soaked as well. It's very steady and it's going to stay that way probably most of the night. So they're the captains meeting again at midfield, and Kokomo's going to defer, and they will kick off to open this one here in tonight's final game of the regular season. So we'll see Richmond's offense first. Wyatt Bird is back. That's good news. Blaine Pierce is back. That is good news. It at least appears that the Red Devils are at full force here going into this one tonight.
Well, it all depends on whether they can stay that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, turf is going to be wet tonight. It's going to be slick. Now, people could fall, roll their ankles, do something. So let's just hope for the best here.
Yeah,
that's all we can do.
That's all we can do. And, again, you want to stay healthy for next week. But the one thing about it is you have nothing to lose in this one tonight. You got to shoot for everything, shoot for the moon tonight, try to get that win and get some momentum going into the tournament coming up next week.
Kokomo coming into this game with a lot of momentum, too.
Yeah, they
coming off of 5 losses and 3 straight wins.
Yeah, they feel very good about themselves in this one tonight. Trayshawn Jones will be deep for the Red Devils. Also deep will be Julian Holguin. Holguin wearing his familiar number 7, had a couple of touchdown receptions last week. And, yes, we're going to have a little bit of a glare right there, too, and even a seam in the glass. You're going to have to bear with us in this one here this evening. Football teed up at the 44-yard line. We're ready to go. Here is Pierce Kirsten Pierce, who will kick it off, and a short kick by Kokomo, and the Red Devils will lose the football, and Kokomo may get it right out of the chute. Richmond may have touched it at about the 33-yard line, but I think Richmond may have come up with it as well. And thank you very much. That was Jack Guiley there on special teams to get the loose football, so Richmond won't give it up early. Well, that would have been a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Zach Hill back at quarterback. The 6'1", 203-pound sophomore has taken over the starting duties and once again had another solid performance last week. And Richmond will spread it out once again. As we mentioned, Wyatt Bird back in the lineup. He'll be lined up just to the left of Zach Hill. And Richmond's going to run it with the tailback Bird, and he'll get across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. And we are underway here tonight.
And we do have a player who lost his helmet on the field, which means he'll have to come out for one play at least.
Yeah, he's coming up big old number 90. That is Jabias Gray. He's about 287 pounds, so you don't mind if you're Richmond seeing him come out.
One thing I noticed, that transition, one of the smoothest ones I've seen in a long time. You could tell every one of their backups are on that line ready to see if one of them comes out.
That is the H-back shifting. Handoff will go to Bird. Bird's going to get a couple of yards. That's about it. Bryce Brown was there to lead block for the Red Devils, and now we're at third down and about 7 for the Red Devils. Let's call it 3rd and 6. So a big third down here for Richmond. Up front, you have Burnett, Gray, Westerman, and Neal, the 4 front down linemen. They've got some good linebackers, and, of course, Jason Spear. One of those guys that's lined up as a linebacker will be a force here tonight. So now the Red Devils will work out of the gun once again on the hash mark left. 2 receivers split wide to the far side. Single receiver to the near side. Hill's going to throw. Here comes the blitz. He gets rid of it, and it's intercepted at the 30, and a turnover for Richmond early. Coming up with the interception, Cole Beard. And Beard, a 190-pound junior, stepping in front of the intended receiver, and Richmond turns it over. Well, if he doesn't slip, he may score. So a turnover. We talked about turnovers and how big that could be tonight, and I don't think that Zach got a real good handle on the football there, and so now we'll see. I've never seen this since I've been in Richmond where Kokomo has run a spread offense. So this is something brand new to me. They've always been in that wing tee. You got that right, boy. So now Kokomo, after the turnover, they'll run the football. And that's a nice gain inside the 25. That's going to be Jeremy Baker. Baker has been their best ball carrier over the last couple of weeks. 10-13 remaining here in the quarter. Levi Rabos, 6'1", 182. He is the starting quarterback. He's a senior. And so now it'll be second down and about 6 after the gain of 4 in the work out of the gun once again. Hash mark to the left side. It'll be Baker again on the carry, and Baker gets a nice gain all the way down near the 15-yard line. That should be close to a first down. In fact, they're going to call it just short, and we're looking at third down and maybe a couple of inches.
I don't see much more than that, but it looks like signaling for the late chains.
And they're going to call it a first down.
So it's going to be Kokomo first down.
By the way, that seam you'll see in a little bit kind of reminds me of a foul pole in baseball, where we have a foul pole right in front of our camera. What are you going to do? What we should have done is stuck my wife outside. First down here for the Wildcats, and they're going to throw over the middle. Ball caught at the 5, and touchdown by the Wildcats. On the reception, James Buffkin, the tight end, and he's a big body. And the Wildcats get the 6 off the turnover, and they lead this one now 6-0. You know, that's going to be really annoying watching that.
At least we don't have to.
Yeah, that's right. So now the extra point attempt here in the opening period of play is Kokomo will bring Flores in to attempt the extra point. It is on the way. It is good. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Kokomo jumping on top early. They lead at 7-0. This is Red Devils football right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Mancino's is family-friendly, serving fresh grinders, pizza, pasta, and salads daily. They serve great food priced for family budgets. And whether it's one of their homemade grinders, salads, or pizza, there's sure to be something for everyone in your family. Our baking process may cost a little more and take more time, but the end result of freshness and flavor make the real difference in all of Mancino's award-winning products. Mancino's of Richmond. Give them a call at 966-1161 or go to their website, Mancino'sofRichmond.com.
Turnovers lead to points here tonight for the Wildcats, and they lead this one 7-0.
And like you said, expecting a lot of turnovers in this game with this weather. I don't think I've seen this rain skip a beat all night.
I don't think it's going to. They said probably until after kickoff, or I should say after the end of games, we might see it slow down a little bit. So just one of those
stop now.
One of those miserable nights as the Red Devils turn it over, now trail at 7-0 here in the first half of play. We will see the kicker once again. They've been using Kirsten Pierce, a senior. Short kick again for the Red Devils, and a return out to the 35, and Allen on the return, still on his feet, and he is really battling for extra yards out across the 40 to maybe the 41. That's a great return, simply for the fact he never gave up.
Now, I don't know if anyone had seen the WCTV broadcast last week that I was on, but I called this kid Houdini. Right there,
because his ability to disappear and able to come back, get more yards.
Yeah.
9:09 remaining in the opening period of play.
And Quavion Allen was the starting not starting, but backup running back that got a lot of reps last week against Anderson. That's who it was.
Yeah, that's it.
Took me a second.
You're getting as old as I am. Here is Zach again out of the gun, low snap, and that'll be all the way back to the 30, or depending on where they're going to spot it. He jumped on it at the 30. But a low snap, they'll put it at the 20, 29-yard line, and so the Red Devils make another mistake. This time it was a low snap, and I'm not sure if Blaine's right hand is still bothering him or not, but he got no lift on the football.
It could have been the rain, too, just slipped out of his hand right before he wanted to let go.
They're going to lose about 12 yards there, so second down and 22, and they're going to try to run it with Bird, and he got buried. Nowhere to go for the Red Devils in the running game. Adams coming up from his linebacker spot to make the stop.
Ball's about where the Quavion Allen got hit the first time.
Yeah, they've been going the wrong direction. So now third down and long. They'd have to get all the way to the Kokomo 49 for a first down. 8:10 remaining here in the opening period. Bryce Brown will be the H-back. Once again, Wyatt Bird as the lone setback, hash mark to the right. They'll throw, and in and out of the hands of Trayvon Jones as he can't come up with it. It would have been well short of a first down, and now we're going to see the kicking game. Now it has been what you would consider not successful for a while, but now they have their backup kicker, punter, supposed to be Pewterbaugh, ready to go tonight, right?
I'm not completely sure what the kicking situation is. They had a lot of kickers working in reps last week, but it looks like it
is Gage Pewterbaugh
from up here.
Yeah, it is Pewterbaugh, number 8.
You're cheating with the binoculars.
I know, but
I'm going from naked eye.
I was watching Pewterbaugh yesterday in practice, and he was doing the kicking duties then, and he got a pretty decent kickoff, and this one's going to get a better roll, and this is what Richmond needs. Picked up back inside the 35, and there is a return across the 40. Still on his feet is Stephen Edwards, the senior, on the return all the way back across the 45 to the 46-yard line. So good field position here for the Wildcats.
And Gage Pewterbaugh has not played in a game since Marion. That was his first start after Stephon Huber was no longer with the team. He got hurt that day, bad snap, tried to pick it up and run with it, just took his left knee out on that play, and we haven't seen him till just now.
And we needed it. But now you got to get the stop on the return.
Would have been great last week.
First down for the Wildcats. Man in motion, hash mark right. They're going to run it again to Baker. Baker at the 50 and will be brought down close to the 47, maybe 48-yard line. And he's going to be tough to stop tonight. We were talking to their play-by-play guy just briefly before the game started. And the one thing about Baker is he's the guy who's been running the football really well lately.
And that was give credit to Trayshawn Jones there on the tackle as well. That was a good job not trying to go high and not trying to take out his shoulders. He just went straight for the knees. He knows he's a big guy, and he's probably going to run him over.
7:10 remaining in the quarter. And again, it'll be Baker on the carry. Baker carries a defender a couple of extra yards, and he got met by Jake Haynes, and Haynes tried to wrap him up at around the 45, and he got another 2 yards out of it. So the Wildcats, again, with good field position, get a first down at the Red Devil 42-yard line. You know, you have to go back to last week and think about the confidence that they're playing with right now. And you beat a good Harrison football team that was ranked 11th, and then you come in here tonight against a team that is struggling. You got to feel they really have to have a lot of confidence in this one. And again, it'll be Baker. Baker breaks a tackle, gets to the 40 and still on his feet, close to the 36-yard line. Blaine Pierce had him. But Blaine, again with that hand, maybe not 100%, couldn't wrap him up.
Right. And he wasn't right with him either. He kind of had to dive for him. He just slid right through. Maybe it's the wet conditions or...
Well, yeah, I don't think he can reach out and grab you. I mean, if he could get you with his whole body, you'd be okay, but he can only reach out with his hand like that. You can't bring Baker down with a hand tackle.
Oh, definitely not. From what I haven't seen much of it from him other than what film gave, but this guy is not going down unless you take out his knees.
Handoff again over the left side, and on the carry, that is going to be Jason Spear, senior running back, 191 pounds, and he's going to get close right at the 35-yard line. Again, we apologize for the glare right behind you, but we've moved everything inside because we're delicate. We do not like to get rained on.
Well, we would have been inside either way. So
yeah, we weren't. There's no way we're going outside. 5:28 right? to go.
Oh, there we go.
Nah, that's not going to work. Don't worry about it. It's a good thought, though.
Nice try.
Yeah. So here are the Wildcats now, third down. They're going to throw. Ball caught over the middle at the 25, still on his feet, and then brought down near the 24-yard line. On the reception was Cole Beard. Beard was the one who came up with the interception. And now the Wildcats get another first down. Well, you can hear the rain coming down on our microphone as it continues to come down a little bit harder.
I was about to say something about it. It's just nailing that tarp there.
It is. Now the Wildcats knocking on the door once again. They're close to the red zone. The Red Devils will have to come up big right here defensively as Baker back in as the lone setback. Baker gets the call following his blockers over the right side, and there to make the stop for the Red Devils, big 72, Jacob Jones, 6'2", 281, and a senior. Football near the 22-yard line. You know, the thing is, it reminds me of being in Chillicothe because they had a pole right there in baseball, and so what you do is you just look around the pole. So.
That's where tripods with locking wheels come in.
Let me tell you what, if that's snow coming down here in a minute, I'm going to...
It is.
I'm telling you, it is snowing right now.
October.
Wow. There is a penalty flag, I believe, or somebody called timeout. Which is it?
It looks like offsides or encroachment, I guess it is, on the defense.
Now, I looked up and I thought, there's no way that's snow, but it is snow.
It is snow. And I just heard someone over the microphone outside. It is literally snowing right now.
Snowing.
It is. It is.
Our first snowfall on October 12th after we had 90-degree weather last week. How about
whether
that?
It's in Richmond or not, we don't know. So.
But it's snowing here. That penalty on the Red Devils. It'll be second down, man in motion. Here's the handoff to the motion man. Cut up the middle, touchdown. Too easy that time for Noah Cameron, and the Wildcats now lead it 13-0. He almost untouched once he got by that front line. And it had to have been the snow. I'm going to blame somebody. Well,
see,
no,
who could we blame? That pylon's not standing up. Let's blame
let's
them.
blame somebody. All right, you will see
120 yards on the other side of the field, but let's blame that pylon.
the extra point attempt right here. Maybe. High snap. The kick is on the way, and it looks like it is good. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Red Devils trail this one 14-0. This is Richmond football and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
New Vision Sports is a training program that focuses on the training and improvement of this serious-minded athlete, including all ages and skill levels. From creating customized workout plans to providing ongoing motivation and support, New Vision strives to help you achieve your training goals. Their trainers use a variety of effective workout plans based on your specific goals. New Vision Sports, 977-5831, or go to their website, newvisionsports.com. That's New Vision Sports with a Z.
Well, the snow is coming down here in Kokomo. We understand it's raining pretty good in Knightstown tonight, as well as the Centerville Bulldogs are playing this evening. We just got an update that raining pretty well there, but we are getting snow here. All right, Richmond will get the football back for the third time, and so far they've had the one turnover and they've had a 3-and-out. And so now the Wildcats, another short kick. Richmond aware it's going to be a short kick. They muff that one. It's going to be jumped on at the 30-yard line, so Richmond will take over the football 1st and 10. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. He has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school group or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he'll donate 10% of what he makes on the transaction to the school group or nonprofit of your choice in your name. For more information, contact Jason Wise at Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group at 969-3400. Now the snow coming down again, the rain coming down in other parts of the state, but we're going to get the snow. It's going to be a heavy snow as well. Richmond will run the football. Wyatt Bird to the outside, 35-40, and make it enough for the first down, and he does out to about the 42-yard line. So Wyatt able to bounce to the outside, nothing open inside, and gets the first down.
That's really the first really positive play we've seen from Richmond that was not on special teams.
Yeah, they haven't. Well, of course, you have the turnover, and then they really did nothing on their second possession. 3:36 remaining. Hash mark right. Red Devils will work with 3 wideouts, 2 to the near side. That's Jewel Taylor, who is in as the H-back, and Wyatt gets the carry, and he's going to get blown up this time. He had nowhere to run. It was Riley Burnett, the linebacker, the senior, coming in to stuff him for perhaps a loss. Let's put it at the 39-yard line. And now the Red Devils with a second down and 13. So they lose 3 on that play. Alex Snedeker to the near side. Julian Holguin in the ballgame to the near side as well. Trayshawn Jones to the far side. So the Red Devils haven't seen Holguin yet being targeted in tonight's contest. Hash mark to the right. Handoff will be to Hill. Bird at the 45, still on his feet out to about the 47-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down, but Bird has had 2 positive runs in this series. Well, the good news is Richmond not fumbling the football on that exchange. And now the Red Devils faced with a 3rd down and about 4.
And we have not seen Richmond convert on 3rd down yet tonight, I do believe, unless I missed it somehow or something.
Yeah.
But it is going to be 3rd and about 4 or 5 there.
Yeah, their 3rd down
Let's see
conversions. They haven't had many opportunities, though, so far. Handoff again to Wyatt over the right side, and he's going to be shy of the first down. In fact, he may get back to the line of scrimmage, perhaps a gain of just a couple of inches, and that's it. So now the Red Devils faced with a 4th down.
No gain on the play.
Now we're going to put it again at the 48-yard line. 1:52 to go here in the opening quarter. And the Red Devils will be forced to punt it away as Gage Pewterbaugh's back in. Deep for the Wildcats will be Stephen Edwards, and watch him. He's very dangerous on the return. Pewterbaugh standing inside his own 35-yard line. Good snap, and Pewterbaugh gets a nice kick away. Boy, he's made a difference already. That'll take a Richmond bounce all the way inside the 10, inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Well, that is what special teams has to do, and they haven't had that in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Right, and that sets up the defense for amazing field position. Let's just see if they can capitalize here. Maybe run a blitz. That's what I'd do. I wouldn't take the chance in putting my quarterback back there and possibly risking the safety. I'd give it to the running back here.
Well, Baker, and Baker's been a guy that can get the open, find the open hole for you. So
and even if he can't, he'll make one.
And he does. And that offensive line is pretty good as well. They're not really huge. They got one guy in the middle who's their center, is about as big as you can get, big number 77 at about 360. The other guys are pretty normal size. Here's Baker. Baker will give them some breathing room out to near the 9-yard line. Yeah, think about your centers, 360 pounds. Number 72, by the way, let me mention him. He's 6'5", but only 235.
And by the way, Troy McCutcheon is leading Anderson 13-0 at the end of the first quarter.
McCutcheon will, I think, win that one going away once they get things rolling. We're down to our final 47 seconds. It'll be second down at about 5 here for the Wildcats. Out of the gun once again, Baker, the lone setback. They'll fake it to Baker. They'll throw, and had a man open and overthrows him on the far side as Wayne Scott was open. Beat his man on coverage, and I'm trying to see who that was on coverage. It was number 24 for the Red Devils, John Carter, and they were going to go after the freshman. So that's going to be 3rd down and 5, and we'll put the football again at the 9-yard line. 35 seconds remaining here in the opening period of play. Well, that was a great fake. Whoever came in for the Red Devils off that right side went after Baker, the running back, and he didn't even have the football. So that was an excellent fake by the quarterback, Rabos, that time. So again, another 3rd down opportunity. Rabos to throw. He's going to air it out again. Underthrown, and a jump ball for the football on the far side. They went after Wayne Scott again, who had the coverage on that side against John Carter. It falls incomplete, and the Red Devils will force the Wildcats to punt the football away.
And something I feel the Red Devils have done very well is put pressure on punts and field goals, and their partner here is limited on how much space they can actually have to punt now. So let's see how this fares, and if they can block this punt, it's very likely that it's going to be on the 1, 2, or even a touchdown here.
Yeah, we'll see how the snap will go with 28 seconds remaining. High snap over his head, and that will be a touchback. Well, hit the nail on the head on that one.
Those points.
You got to take it. The bottom line is for something like that is you knew that if they had a bad snap, it was going to cost them, and it did. So the Red Devils are going to get 2 points out of that touchback safety right there for the Red Devils, and Richmond gets on the board, and they'll also get the football. We're going to keep it right here as we have 22 seconds remaining. By the way, the snow has not completely stopped. It looks like it might be more of the rain back once again, but it's going to be sloppy the rest of the night in this one here this evening. By the way, want to remind you, when visiting the Richmond area, there's one clear choice for the best place to stay, the Best Western Classic. At Best Western, you get the most amenities available, including indoor pool, fitness center, conference space, free buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and, of course, a clean, quiet, comfortable room. Best Western Classic of Richmond, 533 West Eaton Pike. Now, Richmond's going to get decent field position right here, as the Wildcats will have a free kick from the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to get Rabos to go ahead and punt it away. He is their starting quarterback. Richmond should have no less than at their own 40, 45-yard line on this kick. Yeah, this ought to be It'll definitely be Richmond's best field position of the night. 22
Hopefully.
seconds remaining.
Unless this guy turns into Pat McAfee out of nowhere.
Well, you get a good bounce on turf, it can go a long way. Rabos will put a leg into it. It'll be a short kick. And it was touched by Trayshawn Jones, and Trayshawn going back to jump on, and there's a mistake on special teams back at the 31-yard line. So what we thought was going to be excellent field position turns out to be pretty average field position, and the Red Devils blow an opportunity right there. That's one of those you just don't touch. If you're not sure you're going to get that football, get away from it.
Well, actually, if he wouldn't have gotten onto that and Kokomo got to it first, that'd be Kokomo ball.
Well, I'm just saying don't touch it. If you're not, at least let it bounce to you or something. Don't let it. Don't go up and touch it, as Richmond will run the football. And nothing there for Wyatt Bird. I would rather have him get away from it first and then chase it down than go up and touch it. Then you got guys with momentum coming after you. So now it'll be second down after a loss of a couple on the play, and that's going to do it for the opening period of play. So after one, Red Devils on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard trail this one 14-2. This is Richmond football and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
As an internet service provider, Parallax Systems offers reliable residential high-speed internet service and business service. With a fiber backbone reaching over 150 miles, we have created a multifaceted delivery system. Our dark fiber leasing has proved beneficial to public and private sectors alike. Parallax serves Wayne County and surrounding areas. Parallax Systems, when speed matters. A division of Richmond Power and Light.
The Purdue Polytechnic Institute in Richmond is part of a statewide network that offers the same technology degrees available in West Lafayette. The benefit of earning your degree at the Richmond location is that the campus is small enough to provide you with dedicated one-to-one attention while you earn your degree from Purdue University. Purdue Polytechnic of Richmond. Give them a call at 973-8228 or go to their website for more information at polytechnic.purdue.edu.
Sorry, we'll check out those stats coming up here in just a couple of moments in the first quarter, but Red Devils able to get the football back and their defense doing the job getting the safety, and now we're ready for period number 2. Richmond football again, they're going to place it right at the 30-yard line. One turnover for the Red Devils that led to the first score of the ball game. And again, we'll see Hill out of the shotgun. He drops it. And, boy, we said it earlier, we're going to see some turnovers here tonight. That's going to be another huge loss all the way back to the 19-yard line.
And, Troy, I just want to let you and all the viewers at home know, Dylan Seiler, number 54, is actually Branton Thomas.
So he changed numbers.
Yes. I don't know why it wasn't changed on the roster, but, that's not my place. So.
Okay, so Branton Thomas is wearing number 54 now.
Yes, he is.
All right, so we'll
and
make a note of that.
I noticed that last week, too.
All right, handoff. It'll be Wyatt Bird again. He's going to get dropped. And right now the Bearcats are just lining up and daring Richmond to throw the football. Just underway here in the second quarter, and the Red Devils heading the other way. We're talking about fourth down and forever. They'd have to get to the 41. Think about the scenario here. We thought they were going to get good field position, no less than maybe the 40-45, the play on the kickoff back to the 31. Then they end up running the football. They lose more yardage. This one just didn't turn out well at all, and you thought maybe it was going to be a break in the football game.
At least I got 2 points.
Peterbaugh will come in to punt it away. He drops it. And no rush, and that's a good thing for Richmond. And he got a nice roll on this one as well as it rolls all the way down to the 41-yard line. Boy, I tell you, if there were a rush right there by the Wildcats, they would have eaten that up.
Man, I have missed our punter. We got very consistent, good punts and rolls on top of them, of course. But
by the way, the Red Devils, after that opening period, 11 plays for just 5 yards of total offense. Kokomo, 71 yards of total offense in that opening period of play as well. Time of possession, even at 6 minutes apiece. Zach Hill 0 for 2, no yards. And again, when you can't throw the football in conditions like this tonight, you'll find yourself watching another team come after you. They're putting everybody in the box. Here's Baker to the outside. Baker breaks a tackle. He's at the 50, 45, 40, still in his feet. Finally brought down at around the 38-yard line. Baker with a head of steam and another first down for the Wildcats.
I know I've been saying this for the past few weeks. Something Coach Lewis has been huge on is gang tackling, and getting to the ball together. Right there, I didn't see everyone sprinting to the ball at the same time and cost him quite a few yards, and Coach Lewis is going to have something to say about that on the sideline.
Can't let him get to that second and third level.
Oh, absolutely.
Not Baker.
Especially not Baker.
Because
this guy is a powerhouse. He will push you around. It reminds me of Gronkowski to a point.
He will, he'll definitely get some extra yardage. They're going to throw out to the flat. Ball's going to be caught. Good open field tackle for Richmond. Trayshawn Jones to make the stop there on Brady Weiss. And so nice job again by Trayshawn. He's done that well all year long.
Oh, yeah.
He's come up and made that open field tackle several times, had some big hits.
Trayshawn's been one of the most consistent players for this offense and defense.
Yeah. Well,
and when he's on kick return and he gets the ball.
Well, other than the last one we had that, again, was questionable, but we'll throw that one out.
Other games.
There you go. Second down and 9 now for the Wildcats. They're going to pitch to Baker. Baker trying to bounce to the outside, and look out. That may be, and it is, a penalty on Blaine Pierce. I think it's going to be a face mask.
Flags all over the place. Flags all over the place.
Yeah, everybody in the press box saw it as well. You heard the resounding, oh. Well, in fact, you can really hurt a player with something like that. We saw that earlier this year.
I don't know if it was a face mask as much as a horse collar.
We'll find out.
They didn't signal it, so we won't. So I'll say horse collar, you say face mask, and we'll go take it from there.
Well, either way, it's going to be 15 yards against Richmond. Yeah, Snow is back again. We may have to hunker down and try to survive
I had someone send me a text message that say, you need to shut up about the snow or I'll come down there myself and take care of it.
All right, Wildcats again. They're going to run the football. Big hole up the middle, at the 10, at the 5, touchdown. There's Jason Spear in for the Wildcats, and they're running all over the Red Devils here in the first half, but there is a flag down. That's the good news. And I think we're going to bring it back.
And they are.
So let's take the points off the board as well. That was a nice run by Jason Spear, but again, Richmond not tackling very well here in the first half, so that's looks like it might have been a holding penalty on the Wildcats.
And that's been a huge problem for Richmond all over the course of the entire season, and something I don't like to see right here is Kokomo pointing fingers on who the holding was on. So,
well, maybe they're just wishing him a happy birthday. Rabos will take the offense all the way back to the 34-yard line, man in motion. And the man in motion, Weiss will get the football over the right side, 20, 15, 10, 5, and almost broke that one into the end zone. They're going to bring him down to the 5-yard line. Another nice run.
You can tell we're on the home side, can't you?
Mm-hmm. We definitely are. Well, the Wildcats have it first and goal now at the 5-yard line. And, boy, again, rushing-wise, they had 29 yards rushing in the entire first quarter. Well, they bypassed that pretty easily now here in quarter number 2.
Talk about a shoelace tackle. That's just barely saving that 6 points from that board.
They're going to play under center this time. I don't know why they were trying to sneak it in, as Noah Cameron was under center for the Wildcats, and that blew up big time.
Coach must have saw something that we didn't see up here.
I'll tell you what, here's a guy right here coming out of the ball game is Baker. I'm not so sure I wouldn't give it to him.
I think I'd keep him in for goal line.
Cameron must be a backup quarterback. They list him as a wing back or more of a guy that would come in a situation where he might run the Wildcat. but he was under center. There you still see the snow coming down. On and off here in the first half. Temperatures continue to fall, and boy, do we love October football now. They're going to use the Wildcat again over the left side and getting down to near the 1 yard line. That'll be Beard on the carry. Yeah, let's see where they'll put the football. I think it's going to be right at about the 1, maybe 2 yard line. Let's spot it at the 2.
Beard with the carry.
3rd and goal. You know who I still reward Baker.
Oh, absolutely. You can't have a half like that and not be rewarded.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is, well, Red Devils have made all of their running backs look pretty good here tonight, but
just in the first quarter alone, he had 7 attempts for 37 yards, no loss whatsoever.
By the way, the Wildcats are going to use a timeout right here. We will take a timeout as well. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Red Devils trail it 14-2. Kokomo knocking on the door once again. This is Richmond football and Radio Troy Digital Sport.
I got this.
I got this.
I got this.
At Harrington Hogue, we believe your life belongs to you. That's why we work hard to make sure that your insurance coverage is the last thing you have to worry about. So when it comes to keeping you protected,
We got this.
Wildcats get the timeout, and now they're knocking on the door once again here in the second quarter. They get the timeout to set things up. Rabos back in, and their new running back in the backfield will be Spear once again. He's a big, powerful back. Rabos to throw to the sideline. The tight end was covered up. Good coverage by Richmond's Jewel Taylor, who we'll hear from at halftime. And the big tight end was there. That's a big tight end, too, by the way, Rufkin. They list him at 6 foot 205. I think he's a little bigger than that.
He looks like it from here.
Question is, 3rd down. They must feel very confident they're going to get the football into the end zone right here to throw it on 3rd and short instead of running it.
And you were just talking about Jewel Taylor. Take a moment to talk about him. I've been on scout offense with him some this year and even years in middle school, too. He's very fast, very strong, not a very big guy, but he gets the job done. Play in and play out. 4th
and goal, hand off over the left side, and they'll just power it in for the score. There's Jason Spear for the touchdown. And you almost feel like right there they were kind of toying with Richmond and maybe experimenting a little bit on some other things they could do, and just felt they were going to run it in anyway. So the extra point attempt as the Wildcats now lead this one 20-2. They're short a man again on special teams. Flores will come in. He's a junior kicker. He will attempt the extra point. High snap once again. The kick is on the way, and it is good. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Kokomo leading this one 21-2.
At the Reed Orthopedic Center, our physicians and support team devote themselves to helping you return to a healthy and active lifestyle. Our expertise includes shoulder, elbow, foot, ankle, hand, wrist, hip, and knee injuries, as well as pain management and rehabilitation, and school athletic training programs and sports medicine. We are committed to providing you with the best possible orthopedic treatment that we can. To request an appointment at the Reed Orthopedic Center, call 765-935-8905.
Wildcats with a commanding now 21-2 lead back here at Walter Cross Field as Kokomo will undoubtedly head into the locker room with the lead. Still 6:43 remaining, but hopefully Richmond can get something positive going right here. Well, missed opportunities. You had the free kick that could have given you pretty good field position. Richmond unable to do anything with it there. You had the interception early. That cost them 6 points. The inability to move the football consistently has hurt Richmond again here tonight. though Wyatt Bird has had a couple of decent runs. So here's a high kick, and this is going to be recovered by who? It looks like Richmond will come up with it.
Richmond saying it's theirs.
Yeah, Richmond 54 came up with it. That's a Dylan Seiler.
No.
I'm sorry. That is not 54. We've changed that once again. That is Branton Thomas. Sorry. Yeah, Branton must be playing a little more offensive line than usual.
I don't know how you could be so mean to me and not just ignore what I'm
I'm
saying.
a mean kind of guy sometimes, I hear. So 6:41 remaining.
Oh, man.
And the Red Devils get the football back, first down and 10, 4 wide. Doubled up to each side. And they'll try to run it again. Wyatt trying to bounce to the outside. Does. Nice job by Wyatt Bird to make something positive out of that run. He got stopped for maybe a loss, and the Wildcats having a hard time wrapping up on that play, and Richmond will get 5 yards out of it. It'll be 2nd down and 5. I would imagine those jerseys might be a little bit wet and slippery here as well. How about that bus ride home, huh?
Oh, man.
2nd
I bet
down.
they're glad they get to change first.
I bet they are. Hash mark left. 4 wide out. Richmond will run it again. Here's Bird. Bird trying to be a fullback right here. Keeps those legs churning as he gets inside the 45 down to about the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. And Richmond has committed themselves to the running game, and they're going to let Bird be the workhorse here tonight. Boy, he hit head on again. I'm worried about him a little bit from the concussion standpoint as he ran head on into one of the Kokomo defenders and kind of bounced back a little bit. The official will call a timeout. Looks like we have an injured player. That's Riley Burnett, the linebacker, who either hurt his elbow.
Looks like he's favoring his elbow coming off to the sideline talking to a coach, but
Ethan
he doesn't
Guire.
seem to be as in a whole lot of pain.
Yeah. By the way, Ethan Guire will come in now for the Wildcats. 3rd down and about a yard here for Richmond. And the work out of the gun once again. Wyatt Bird, the lone setback. 3 wide to the near side, and there's jumping up front. That's exactly what we talk about. You start to make headway, and the next thing you know, you end up with a 5-yard penalty there. It goes from 3rd down and 1 to 3rd down and 6, and you've kind of shot yourself in the foot again.
And I don't know if I've said it much on your show, but I know I have on mine. Stupid penalties.
Got to cut them down. You can get away with it sometimes against bad football teams, but Kokomo, as well as they're playing, and they're coming after you. Here is Hill to throw. Here they come. Hill will tuck it under himself and run with it, and he's going to get the first down. He's going to take a hard hit, but not till he gets to the 39-yard line.
And what I like about Zach Hill is he is built to be able to sit in the pocket, take a hit, and get out of there. And I don't know if I said it with you a few weeks ago, someone in film, man, he runs the pocket like Ben Roethlisberger.
That's right.
I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but
I would like to see maybe go down a little bit earlier. And once he gets that first down, go ahead and go down and not take the extra punishment if you can.
Well, Zach Hill is also a very determined player, and he will do whatever he can just for 1 extra yard.
Stack trips to the near side, hash mark left. Again, Wyatt Bird, the lone setback. And Richmond will throw that ball in the air. It'll be caught. That's going to be Trayshawn Jones down at the 30-yard line on the reception. It'll be right very close to that first down marker, and they're going to see it as a first down.
Great route running there by Trayshawn, and just to get open. Ball obviously very wet right now. That may be why it was a little high. Just slipped out of his hand right before he wanted it to, but that's very expected in this game. As the snow looks like it's shifting between, snow and rain. It looks like you got a little bit of both right now. So
yeah, 4th down, or I should say first down for the Red Devils. It'll be handed off to Wyatt Bird. He's going to lose a couple of yards on this carry. Big number 90 coming in there. And when I say big number 90, I mean big number 90, as Javeus Gray at 287 pounds. Ending up blowing up that Richmond offensive line, and now the Red Devils with a 2nd down and about 12. 3:30 remaining here in the second quarter. Red Devils haven't really thrown as much tonight as I'm sure they would like because of the conditions they've been faced with. And you can see the players, again, their breath coming out of those helmets because as cold as it is. Here's Bird, fumbled the football. It is loose. Kokomo diving for it. And I think that Zach may have come up with it as it continues to jump in and out of people's arms. But Richmond, I think, got it back.
It looked like Zach, or it just got somehow swatted backwards, and Zach was paying attention. Thankfully, he didn't pull a Cam Newton and just like flinch at the line and then claw to the ball.
Well, we caught a break there because they called that down at the 36-yard line. When Wyatt went down on the ground to get it, they called that down.
All right, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so even if Kokomo would have gotten it there, it would have been Richmond football.
Good awareness by Zach, though.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure I'm not sure he even came up with it because it was bouncing around even after he jumped on the football.
It was close. It would have been a good, close call.
Coach Lewis is saying something to the officials as they have all gathered, and now they've called timeout right here. And now the referee is going to say something, and I'm not sure what that is. They have not indicated what the infraction was or any. I don't even see a penalty flag. But this
I don't know what it was, but Coach Lewis should do it more often.
So, I'm not sure. And what's unfortunate about that is that it's a little frustrating for everybody here in the press box, too, not to know what it is. Eli Urban is coming.
A couple weeks ago, there was a bunch of refs that wouldn't throw the flags up. They just knock them out of their pocket there.
Here comes the blitz from the backside, and Zach gets rid of it, and he was just trying to throw it somewhere in the vicinity of a receiver, and the closest one may have been Snedeker. I mean, it's a good thing it didn't go thrown underneath any further because Jason Spear might have had a pick six right there.
Picker. Close to six at least. Zach Hill, not the fastest guy. Fast, but not fast.
Well, yeah.
Fastest.
And I'm not sure he even took that snap clean. So now the clock is at 2:04 on the incomplete pass. I don't know why they would be getting together to talk about that, unless they're going to say it was an intentional grounding, but that would have been the only thing there. So now 3rd down and 13.
I think the refs are going to be a little bit more understanding of that. The ball's wet, and he was on the run. So
and you know what? They may not be telling us what's going on because they want to get this game going.
Can you blame them?
No.
I mean, they may not have a super long car ride home, but we do. So
Irvin, here comes the blitz again. The throw of the middle, and it falls incomplete. It was intended for Holguin on the little screen pass. Holguin hiding behind Sam Gamboa, and it falls incomplete.
Now, Troy, I don't know if you saw this or not, but it hit Sam Gamboa's back, and he just looked at it like, what is this?
Yeah, they thought maybe Holguin was going to step up right there.
I'm a lineman. This isn't supposed to happen.
Maybe Sam should have caught it and tried to run in.
I know last year for a JV game we had a lineman, Johnny Vivanco, caught a screen pass and just dove for the ground. Run the football.
4th down, here they come, and Zach's going to tuck it under himself, and he may get a yard out of it. And the Red Devils on 4th down are going to give up the football. 1:51 remaining, and Richmond gives it back. You know what? You look at the penalty. Again, we don't know what happened there in a couple of instances where they moved the football around, but you had that one penalty that just kind of broke your momentum again.
Right.
So the Wildcats will get the football back. Still 1:51 remaining. The snow has currently stopped, and the rain has actually gone down to nothing more than a sprinkle. That's some good news. Ramos once again is out of the gun with one in the backfield. Here comes the blitz. The ball is thrown to the outside. Ball caught at the 30, 35, 40. Still on his feet is Baker. Baker up the right sideline and finally stepped out of bounds at about the Richmond 40. Big gain again for the Wildcats, and Richmond has got to find a way to stop that to the outside. And they have not done that so far. So football will be placed at the 40. By the way, this turf looks beautiful tonight. How do they keep it so green? Trying to lighten up the mood here a little bit.
Greener than your hat.
No, careful. Handoff, Baker. They're going to throw. It's thrown to the near side. Good fake, and Wayne Scott unable to hold on to it at about the 41.
Yet again, going back to the wet conditions, these balls are probably soaked by now. I think by halftime I'd be taking them in with me and drying them off real quick. Drying them off, maybe heating them up, because this rain's slowing down, so it may be done by the time you come out.
Well, it's cold up here, and I can imagine what they're going through down there.
Put your hoodie on. Quit whining.
Yeah, quit whining, you meanie. 134, 135 to go. Here in the – that's an inside joke, by the way. Trips to the right, hash mark to the left. And again, Rabos to throw. He's going to put it down the middle. Has a man. Ball's going to be caught. Touchdown, Wildcats. Cole Beard got behind the defense, and that'll be 40 yards in the score. And you gave Kokomo, again, too much time with the football, and that was a great throw.
And you just got to have better coverage down the field here. You're reaching the end of the second half. If you can hold them, you're only down by 3 scores. So
yeah,
we're going to be looking at 4 with an extra point here if he does make this.
Yeah, Flores will attempt the extra point. It is on the way and good once again. And boy, Richmond in a hole now on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Red Devils trail this one 28-2. Stay right there. This is Richmond football and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Our community. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we play. At West End Bank, we're not just in the community, we're a part of the community. And that's why we support over 100 programs for local nonprofits and schools, including our financial literacy program that positively impacts countless students throughout the area. You bank locally, so we give back locally to watch people grow with endless possibilities.
By the way, at halftime, we'll have our commissioner's report from the IHSAA. We're going to hear from Jewel Taylor, who we spoke to yesterday, a little bit about this football team heading into tonight's contest, and he'll talk about the sectional tournament coming up next week as well. And right now, things are not going Richmond's way as they trail it here now 28-2.
And you mentioned the tournament play starting next week. I talked to many of the players, and a lot of them feel comfortable going into the first round playing Connorsville, going back a few weeks or to the beginning of the season, first game, just winning by an immense amount of points.
There is Eli Irvin on the return at the 40-45 on the short kick out to the 50. And so the Red Devils will have perhaps their best starting field position here tonight. Yeah, and the thing is about next week, too, is Connorsville, I know they play Batesville this evening, but they're playing better here at the end of the year. So, I pointed out before, I've got 2 on my mind. You go to Newcastle one year, you beat them badly in the regular season. They beat you in the tournament by 1 to end your season, where you thought that one would be in the bag, and another one was against Anderson, a team that we had beaten earlier in the year, and we go there and they beat us in the tournament. So you got to be very careful in that opening round. They called it Upset Friday for a reason. All right, Richmond football. Wyatt Bird again on the carry, and he's going to get stuffed. And the Wildcats is putting everybody in the box. They're really going to try to force Richmond to throw the football. Big 57 Lenore there for the Wildcats, just a sophomore. And we're down to 105.
And real quick, by the way, Troy, while we're waiting on the play to get going here, the Harrison-Marion game is now at halftime. Harrison is leading Marion 9-6. Very tightly contested for this so far.
Well, they might be having some weather issues too, slowing everybody down.
I checked a little bit earlier, and it was just raining. I don't think it's killer yet, but...
All right, Richmond out of the gun once again. Boy, that ball just wobbled. That's a duck, and it's intercepted again by the Wildcats. Just a short return as Wyatt Bird able to come back with it on the tackle, and Tashay Stewart in there for the Wildcats. Second interception now for the quarterback for the Red Devils, as Zach, I think it just slipped out of his hand again. He can't get a solid grip on that football here tonight. Not only is it cold, but it's wet. And the Wildcats have a chance to score again. 30 seconds remaining here in the first half, and they have plenty of time. Rabos again will have one in the backfield. That's Baker. 4 wide in this Kokomo spread offense, which is hard for me to say. They'll dump it to Baker out on the side, and Baker is going to get out of bounds at around the 46-yard line. I mean, it's just been for years they've run the wing T offense.
Right.
Line all those guys up, and they're all 11 of them are in there like we're playing rugby.
Well, we did hear Coach Lewis earlier before the game talking about how when he came in, whole new ball game, whole new offense, whole new everything. And that just goes to show you how much coaching can change everything.
Yeah, it certainly can. And the Wildcats, they've shown that now. They can score out of this spread offense. And Rabos to throw again, fires this one on a line. Ball's caught at the 35-30 up the sideline, gets a block, and touchdown Wildcats. That was a huge block on the sideline, and Richmond gives up another 6 with just 13 seconds remaining. I didn't see who threw that block, though. But whoever it was, when you go back and watch that, that's about as big of a block as you're going to see that scored a touchdown that we've seen all year long. Wow. We'll have the halftime statistics as well coming up a little bit later, but right now the Wildcats putting it to the Red Devils here in the first half. And what might have been no more than what we thought would have been a first down right there turns into a touchdown. And again, the extra point is on the way, and the extra point is good. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Red Devils trail this one 35-2.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. In a small town, a company like theirs cannot stay in business for as long as they have without being very good at what they do. It's not just about quality work, it's about customer service. If that's the kind of experience you want on your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Call Reynolds Plumbing today at 966-0994.
Well, the senior crowd here tonight, those that have been here to celebrate the seniors, are seeing a Wildcat football team that has now put 35 points on the board against Richmond here in the first half. You know, I told you I've been around long enough to know we just don't play well here. I don't.
And even longer than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zing shot late in the first
Zing.
half.
You're being mean now.
Oh, well. You'll get over it, I'm sure.
I know. Well, there's not much you can say about that. That was a great block. I can't wait to go back and see who laid that block on a Richmond defender that enabled that touchdown.
Absolutely.
We're going to see another short kick right here. They're going to kick short all the time, and they know that as Eli Irvin goes down, he didn't get hit very hard that time, but he went down. It was number 10, Burnett. 8 seconds remaining. Now, just kneel on the football here and try to get into the locker room.
Like you said, he didn't get hit very hard. My reaction was to his
I think he slipped.
I guess.
Yeah, he started to stop, and then he slipped and got
I don't know
hit.
if he slipped, but
yeah, Richmond's going to play this
Vince
one.
McMahon's going to be giving him a call here soon. Just for that fall right there.
They're going to kneel on the football right here and just try to regroup, get into the locker room, and try to get something going in the second half. And the thing is, they've taken Holguin out. We've only seen
Holguin's still in there.
Well, I mean, just taking him out of the game from a standpoint. He hasn't had, I don't think he has a reception, does he?
Oh, no.
We'll check at halftime, but Trayshawn Jones may have a reception. They've run it more to Wyatt Bird, but then they can't keep consistency there. So Richmond's offense is struggling. I think
the passing game with the weather, which it looks like it's mostly
Well, it's going to be.
Now.
It's not going to matter. It's going to be wet no matter what the rest of the way. We have made it to halftime. The commissioner's report coming up in a couple of moments. We'll also hear from Jewel Taylor. Do not go away. Halftime is coming up on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Kokomo 35 and Richmond 2.
For over a century, Richmond Power and Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, they are advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. Richmond Power and Light provides reliable, low-cost energy and technology services in a customer-focused, environmentally responsible, safety-conscious manner. Richmond Power and Light. Together we make powerful partners. Summit Computer Systems is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware service, support, design services, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and more. Summit Computers, 1427 Chester Boulevard in Richmond. Give them a call at 939-2120.
All the amenities you want and the convenience you need. Your next apartment is waiting for you at Chester Heights Apartments in Richmond. Chester Heights Apartments come with 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms with central air, inside laundry, swimming pool, and a new regulation-sized volleyball court. Chester Heights also offers convenient access to IU East, Reed Hospital, shopping, restaurants, and more. Call today for specials. Chester Heights Apartments on Chester Boulevard in Richmond, a proud supporter of all Richmond High School athletics.
After the unexpected, expect us. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance of Fayette, Rush, Union, Decatur, and Shelby counties. Auto, home, life, renters, farm, crop, and business coverage. Coverage you need in a language you know. We take customer satisfaction seriously and don't take a cookie-cutter approach to your coverage. For more information, call 800-723-3276 or go to their website, in.farmbureau.com.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly update from the IHSAA Commissioner himself, Bobby Cox. Now for the inside scoop on what's happening day to day with the IHSAA. Here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Bobby Cox.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Bob Lovell. Our weekly conversation with Commissioner Bobby Cox from the IHSAA is upon us. Commissioner, last weekend we had the pairing show. The reaction was tremendous, and Paul Condra and I honored, as always, to be able to be a part of it. But this continues another week of very busy activity in high school sports around our state. Just to name a couple, boys tennis finals, unified football, flag football finals at the Colts Complex. We have a lot of things going on this week, plus the last weekend of the regular season in high school football.
Well, yes, Bob, you're correct. And let me begin by thanking you and our friend Paul Condry for a great pairing show. Tremendous response, tremendous viewing. We have tracked through our metrics over 30,000 different devices viewed that pairing show. That's a lot of people watching pairing. So it's created a lot of excitement, a lot of viewing parties that you and Paul talked about during the broadcast, and it creates a lot of really positive energy. But that's one of a lot of things going on.
Right,
you mentioned
right.
it. We've got boys tennis state finals coming up this weekend. Quarterfinal rounds on Friday at Center Grove and Carmel. Semifinals and finals the next day on Saturday at North Central, our traditional host. And then our inaugural Unified Flag Football State Championship being hosted at the Indiana Farm Bureau Football Center. Most people know that as the Colts Complex on West 56th Street in Indianapolis. Tippecanoe Valley is going to play Noblesville, and Ben Davis is going to play Bedford North Lawrence at 4 o'clock, simultaneous games side by side, and then a championship game 30 minutes after that. So I'm extremely excited about the opportunity for these youngsters to play for a championship on Saturday, and thanks go out to the Colts and all their accommodations in taking this first state championship into their facility, and I think it's just going to be a really wonderful afternoon of flag football for our member schools.
Thanks so much for the kind words. I know Paul and I appreciate it. It's fun for us. We've done it for a long time, and I think not because of us, but I think the broadcast gets better and better because of the interactivity involved in social media and the viewing parties, and this truly is an event for the kids. And so I appreciate those kind words. Let me just continue to talk about the busyness. You have soccer championships. This is one of those busy times for you.
Very busy. We are at the regional level of boys and girls cross country, 16 sites around the state. We are at the regional level of boys and girls soccer, and 16 sites around the state on both genders as well. The volleyball sectionals are starting this week. Wow. And we'll have 64 volleyball championships Saturday afternoon and evening. And then we're still playing high school football. We got week 9, the last week of the season before we get into the tournament. Now everybody knows who they're going to play in the tournament, but that 9th game will determine a lot of conference championships. It'll determine a lot of points toward all sport trophies in conferences. So it's a very important week in high school sports in our state.
And it really is for those reasons you illuminated on. And also, it seems that we're going to finally, after 8 weeks of football, have football weather this weekend.
We are, and, that's okay. When it's October and it's 80 degrees, it just doesn't feel right. And now we're going to have some 50-degree weather. I think the rain's going to blow through here in the middle of the week, and I think we're going to have some dry weather for the weekend. And so we encourage all our patrons to come out and watch these championships, whatever sport they want to support. We've got something going on in every sport, so we hope everybody will come out and support our young people and have a great weekend of high school sports.
I know you're probably above this, but did you send some of the metrics about the viewing of the pairings show to some of your colleagues around the country?
I haven't done that yet. We'll meet in the winter again, and you and I'll talk about that moving forward. We'll have our winter meeting in January, and we'll have some conversation about what every state association is doing with respect to broadcasting, internet programming, radio, and the like. And so we'll have that conversation, but my colleagues don't like to hear those metrics that we have, and they want to know what we're doing. And I tell them, we've got great people, we've got a great platform, and we've got great high school fans in our state. And you put that all together, and we've got a lot of interest.
He's the commissioner of the IHSAA, Bobby Cox, in our weekly conversation about all things high school sports in Indiana. Commissioner, as always, thanks for being with me. Thanks again for the kind words, and have a great week.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it.
Mendenhall's True Value in Richmond is your local source for the things you need at home or your business every day. Everything from hardware, tools, carpet cleaner rentals, window and screen repair, lawn and garden supplies, as well as hunting and fishing licenses. It's all in one place at Mendenhall's True Value Hardware, right around the corner at 125 Southwest 5th Street in Richmond. Give them a call for more information at 962-4842.
Welcome back to Walter Cross Field. Before we run down those first half numbers, we had a chance to talk yesterday a little bit with the defensive lineman Jewel Taylor. And, of course, Jewel getting his chance to play again both ways here tonight. We also talked about not only tonight's game, but also next week's sectional tournament that gets underway again a week from tonight down in Connersville. Hey, Jewel, talk about preparation this week, just getting ready for Kokomo. I think there's some concern whether their starting quarterback will be playing this week or whether they'll save him for next week. What do you guys expect out of the Wildcats on Friday?
Well, they have two quarterbacks. One likes to throw, one likes to run. And our coach, he said he did some investigating on it, and he said that he didn't dress or start last game. And they don't know if he will this game, but I feel like he probably will. But we prepare for both.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably prepare as if he's going to play no matter what, right?
Yeah.
How did you guys overcome last week, just the tough loss, and get yourselves regrouped and come back and get ready for this final game?
We just took the positive out of it, and we just keep moving. We do that every week. I mean, it's offense, they did their part, and defense, we tried to do our part, and just the end of the day, you couldn't punch it in for the dub. But
this team though does appear to stick together, and I've seen that from the first game through the tough losses, the close ones, and those that, like last week, that were really tough. You guys seem to have a chemistry right now, just for whatever reason it is, you guys don't quit on anything.
Yeah, because this year the culture has definitely changed from this year to last year, and Coach Lewis has definitely brought it here, and we're starting to change it that we play for each other and not for individual stats or anything like that. So, like, senior night, I personally play for the seniors, and, like, for us to just that tough loss, like, I apologize to the seniors in person and all that. It was terrible.
You know, I've watched you play a lot, and you seem to be so active on the defensive side of the football. Talk about your game and what is it that you seem to be involved in all the different plays that there are, whether it's run or pass.
Well, at the beginning of the year, I was at defensive end, and I mean, it worked for me. I'm not like the biggest D lineman, but I'm faster than most off the ball, so I just kind of had that. I could use my speed against people. But in the middle of the season, they switched me and Bryce, so I went to middle linebacker, and they put him at DN, and he's a stand-up DN, and I mean, it works for him. He's stronger than me. He's big. And me, I can fill gaps. I can go into pass coverage. So usually I go to the trip side. I go to the pay call, all that,
You guys are down now to the final game of the regular season, and then you play Connorsville in the first round of the tournament. We'll talk more about that perhaps another time, but how big is it for you guys to not only I know you want to win, but how big is it just to play well on Friday to give yourselves plenty of momentum for next week?
I wanted to get the dub for senior night too, and tomorrow, but to go into sectionals with some confidence. But I feel like that we can. This is definitely a good team, and they have some star players. But I feel like we do too. Everyone play their keys right. Everybody do what they're supposed to do. Everybody do their 1/11th. We can never get this dub.
And Jewel, you guys saw that last week, didn't you? I mean, when you guys play well, you have striking ability to score quickly. Your defense is able to get turnovers and get takeaways, so you guys know it can be there, just a matter of executing.
It just takes one person to not do their 1/11th, not just step left. Now you put step right, and then you miss a block, and then he gets. It's a rippling effect. Dominoes.
Hey, I said something about the sectional, but just in case. What'd you think about the draw? You get Connorsville again, and the thing is about playing a team a second time around, it's always tough to beat them 2 times in 1 year.
Our coach has told us to definitely forget the first game. They're a different team. It's been 10 weeks. He told us that they lost by 1 to Lewisburg, I think, and they're traditionally a good football program. So he just said that forget first game and focus. He's just basically just to forget the first game and just play how we've been playing.
Again, Jewel Taylor speaking with us a little bit yesterday, and a fine young man, and certainly the Red Devils will look forward to him next week as well. And again, Richmond's got to get by this one here tonight, 35-2 here at half. Here are your first half numbers. Let's start with Kokomo. They had 11 first downs. They rushed the football 13 times for 55 yards. They were in the passing department 9 of 13, 197 yards, and 4 touchdowns in the first half through the air for the Wildcats. So far, 252 yards of total offense for Kokomo in the first half. For the Red Devils, rough first half. Not only just the 2 points off of the muffed punt, but you're also looking at no yards rushing, no net yards on 19 carries. They finished with just 10 yards in the air. So in 25 total offensive plays, only 10 yards of total offense. Zach Hill, 1 of 6. He was picked off twice in the first half, 1 of 6 for 10 yards. Wyatt Bird, 14 carries for 33 gained, but 19 lost. That's a net of just 14 yards in the first half. Zach Hill, 2 carries and 10 yards in the first half, and as a team, a minus 24. So offensively, it has not been a good night. Defensively, the Red Devils unable to stop the Wildcats on either side of the football here this evening. All right, when we come back, we will have the second half coming up in just a few moments. Stay right there. This is Richmond Football and Radio Troy Digital Sport.
We check them better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory-trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back 'em better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Today's game is being brought to you by Tri-County Awards in Richmond. Customized awards and quality engraving services. When you come to Tri-County Awards, you'll get nothing but the best customer service. We take pride in our prompt service and easy availability. Celebrate success with a gorgeous medal, trophy, or plaque from Tri-County Awards. We've been crafting awards since 1972. Choose from a wide variety of designs and styles. We're a locally owned and family-operated business. Tri-County Awards, 1001 South East Street in Richmond.
You've got too much stuff in your house or in your business and nowhere to put it all. What do? Here's the answer. Quaker City Storage in Richmond. Quaker City Storage offers various size units for either short-term or long-term storage. You'll get the best rates in town, and you always have 24-hour lighted access to your stuff. Quaker City Storage on Industrial Parkway next to A House Tool. Quaker City Storage is a proud supporter of all Richmond High School athletics.
At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information. Big Boy's Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course, pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery, Big Boy's Pizza. 765-488-0023.
We're back once again here at none other than it is Walter Cross Field. I always got to grab this to figure out where we're at. Walter Cross Field here in Kokomo, where the Red Devils are out. They gave them a little extra time to get warmed up on what is now a 35-degree night?
35, 34 fluctuates through that.
Oh, I can feel the difference between the 35 and 34. It gets warmer at 35.
Well, in the NFL, you got to have it, 35.7382,
right.
So.
Yeah, I hear you. By the way, the most points scored this year by the Wildcats go back to the 56 they put on the board against Anderson. Won that one 56-7. You think about how they got their offense rolling. I'm sorry about that. That was last year, the 56 points they scored. I'm going back to last year's 56.
I was about to say, it didn't I don't think I saw that.
Well, I was looking for the most points they scored last year was 56.
Looking at the tail of the tape here.
Yeah, 56 was their high last year. This year, their high is right now 35. No, 45. I'm sorry. They scored 45 at Logan. So they're only 10 points away from a season high,
which they'll probably get.
And you look at their defense. Their defense got better. 17 against Muncie Central, 13 against Logan. Harrison only 10. And the 1 point they gave up 77, 58, 46, 35, and 24. Their schedule got a little bit easier as well, but still, nonetheless, they've been an improved football team.
And the snow is supposed to start here in about 5 more minutes, so we will not have much football without snow tonight.
Oh, no kidding. So that kickoff for the Red Devils after the Wildcats deferred in the first half, and they're going to get another nice return out of this one. On the return, that is Tashay Stewart, and the Wildcats have the football here in the third quarter. All right, they give us Terry Downham does a great job in their sports information department.
Phenomenal.
I mean, we've got more notes here than I know what to do with. We should probably go over this, and if it gets really bad here in the second half, we'll read all these, okay? Because he puts a lot of time and effort into it.
A-Z on the dictionary. Right?
By the way, there's a hurt player down for the Wildcats. The reason I bring that up is he used to be the media specialist for the NCC, and for whatever reason, they need to bring him back and do it some more.
And talking to him a little bit earlier, he says he does stuff like this for the Indianapolis Colts as well.
Yeah, that's right. So he's a busy man as the Wildcats, again, as we start this second half, they have a man down at about the 30-yard line. I want to remind you again, next week we will head to Connorsville. That'll be a rematch of game number 1 of the season. And the Red Devils know that'll be a different football team than what they saw then. They're playing better. They play Rushville tonight. We had a couple other scores I wanted to mention. Hagerstown is now leading their matchup against Northeastern as they try to win a share of the TEC championship. See if I get any scores here real quick from.
Harrison is beating Marion 9-6. McCutcheon on top of Anderson 20-9 at halftime.
Hurt player was the return man right there. That was Stewart, who was hurt. So, by the way, if Knightstown beats Centerville tonight, they will win the Tri-Eastern Conference title. They would have to lose, and in order for them to see a four-way tie, Northeastern would have to beat Hagerstown, and Centerville would have to beat Knightstown to have a four-way tie, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Sounds like what Dallas needed last year to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
He had like 12 occurring games.
Yeah, and you don't want to be counting on everybody else. So Wildcats will have it again out of the gun, and here's Baker on the carry. Baker, the cutback run, and he'll be brought down near the 33.
And great play or fake there by the quarterback. He had me faked out, so I'd say that's pretty good. Then again, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much, yeah. We pointed that out several times on our broadcast, so we can fake you out pretty easy. We told you got paid. Oh, wait a minute, you don't. Don't do that. I'm mean, aren't I? Yeah, psych.
I was about to say it.
All right, it'll be second down and about 7 now for the Wildcats. They'll fake and throw, and in and out of the hands of their tight end that cut over the middle. As Buffkin can't hold on to the football, and it falls incomplete. And it'll be third down and 7.
This would be a whole different ball game if this ball was not wet. We've seen so many drop passes, so many bad passes, just because, well, in our opinion, just because the ball's wet. It could be something else that is an occurring factor, but
yeah,
that's most likely the biggest downfall to these both of these teams.
Think about trying to grip that football on a cold, wet night. It's first time this year, by the way. It hasn't been this way until now. So it's something
snowed until today, too.
That's right. Something to get used to. Here is Baker, and Baker's going to be brought down. He's going to lose some yardage here. Bryce Brown there for the Red Devils.
First time tonight he is going for negative yards, which isn't going to be very many, it looks like. Looks like, maybe about 6 or 7, but,
Well, the Wildcats will be forced to punt it away, and they're first offensive possession here in the second half. Trayshawn Jones
and I believe this
will be
is
deep.
One of the first punts that we've had.
There's only their second time, I believe.
Second time, but the first one was a safety.
Well, that was, as far as being in play, they've had one other. This would be their third, but that one, does that count as a punt attempt? And Wildcats are going to have to call a timeout because they didn't have everybody in on special teams that they needed.
3 seconds left on the play clock as well there.
We'll take a quick break. Red Devils trailing this one on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard 35-2.
Since 1994, Beach Automotive has provided motorists in the Richmond area with comprehensive auto repair services that include car and truck care, alignment, brakes, tires, engine, transmission, and more. You'll be hard-pressed to find the same level of expertise that our auto mechanic specialists provide. For a high-performing vehicle, trust Beach Automotive. To learn more, call 765-966-8181. Beach Automotive, 110 East Main Street, Richmond.
So after the timeout by the Wildcats, they will get the right amount of people on the field, and Trayshawn Jones again will be deep. And we have a flag down. Not a good start to this third quarter, and that'll go against the Wildcats. Boy, their special teams, at least on this possession, have not looked very good. If you're just joining us.
We've only seen them once.
I was going to say.
We haven't seen them at all run a play yet. So.
Yeah, the official.
All they need now is a muffed punt.
See, the official Cleveland first Brown one is not really a punt attempt. But again, the glare you'll see there in the background, we've again moved inside because of the rain and the snow we've had here tonight. That's a high snap over the punter's head. And guess what? Richmond's going to recover it for a touchdown. Richmond will get on the board with another bad snap from the center to the punter, and I think it was number 50, Jake Haynes, who jumped on the loose football, and Richmond gets on the board with their special teams.
Jake Haynes, only a freshman, but has been a huge impact in the Red Devils this season so far.
Well, I'll take that over the safety. Pewterbaugh will come in, and now we'll get a chance to see what Pewterbaugh can do as a kicker. Yeah, that's not a good spot right there, but what the heck, beats sitting out in the cold. Here's the snap. The kick is on the way, and Pewterbaugh will put that one through the uprights, and the Red Devils get a positive here in the third on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. It is Kokomo 35 and Richmond 9. This is Richmond football and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Our community. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we play. At West End Bank, we're not just in the community, we're a part of the community. And that's why we support over 100 programs for local nonprofits and schools, including our financial literacy program that positively impacts countless students throughout the area. You bank locally, so we give back locally to watch people grow with endless possibilities.
We're back once again here at Walter Cross Field as the Red Devils get on the board on special teams here in the third quarter, now trail at 35-9. We have seen now twice where the Wildcats have had problems with their special teams, and both times Red Devils have been able to score. Got a safety the first time and got the 7 points on the board the second time. By the way, Peterborough already a plus in the punting department tonight. We've seen a couple of pretty good punts out of Gage here this evening, and also the extra point attempt. So you can tell already that is giving Richmond a little bit of life when you consider that Peterborough will help this kicking game. On the kickoff, here come the Wildcats on the return. Not a whole lot of running room by the return man, Wayne Scott. And so the Wildcats will have the football first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And on the tackle there was Sean Alexander, the sophomore, and I know someone listening will be very happy about that because he was actually just texting me about him. So that one was for you, buddy.
Well, there you go. Special teams, you can get a lot of playing time on special teams, and you can also see guys move into the starting lineup and get playing time if they do well on special teams. So now the Wildcats will have it first down and 10 again at their own 25-yard line. Baker, the lone setback. Man in motion, that's your tight end. He'll reset to the left. Here's Baker, cutback. Baker breaking tackles. Baker puts his head down. A flag is down.
It's going to be on the near side 45-yard line.
Well, that's thrown way back here.
I have no idea what that would be for, other than maybe a sideline problem, but that'd be thrown on the sideline. So,
by the way, Baker came up a little bit gimpy, and the flag is going to be blown against the Wildcats. So whatever that official saw, he saw it from a long way away. What? He did. Yeah, he did that time. He wanted you to move it back so you could get that right there in the picture.
And the official's bringing the ball to the line, not the line going to the ball.
10:03 remaining here in the third. Cats will work again off the hash mark left. A bobbled snap, and that's going to be another bad play for the Wildcats. Richmond able to jump in there and throw the Wildcats for a loss again. Bryce is in there, also in there for the Red Devils. Give him credit, number 56. That's LaMarcus Thompson. So now all of a sudden it's going to be third down and long.
You know, I don't appreciate you being so mean and taking everything I'm going to say from me.
You don't. I'm sorry, it's second down. Well, you know what I usually tell people? I flip them a quarter and tell them to call somebody who cares.
Okay, Travis. We were talking earlier. I'm old school. I know that one.
I know you do. Shotgun formation again, and boy, they were looking to hand it off. Nobody was there, and Rabos will take a hit, and the flag is down. That may be a helmet-to-helmet there on LaMarcus Thompson.
The referee at the top of your screen was signaling on the Wildcats. Don't know why that keeps spacing my mind, but
you ever get a feeling, at least at the point, neither one of these teams, especially Kokomo, coming out a little less focused here in the third quarter. There is the penalty again. I thought it was going to be a hit to the head by LaMarcus.
And it is.
A helmet-to-helmet shot on the quarterback. So you again get the Wildcats in a position where they might have to give up the football, then you commit the penalty.
And that's just simple routine tackling. And I know Coach Lewis makes plenty of time in practice every day for getting that situated.
Wildcats haven't realized yet that the football's been moved all the way to the 37, so they're going to have to sprint about 15 yards to get to the line of scrimmage.
I don't think they'll be sprinting. I think they're going to take their time and wind down the clock for the rest of the game.
8:52 remaining here in the third. Rabos again out of the shotgun formation. Handoff. Nope, he's going to fake it and throw it. Has a man. Ball's going to be caught at the 30, and a sprint to the end zone. Touchdown. That is Stephen Edwards. Boy, the second time we have seen the Wildcats get behind the Richmond secondary for the score, and that's now 5 touchdown passes here tonight by the Wildcats. Boy, he had great speed. He caught up with that football, and he was off to the races. That's not bad, huh? 41-9, 8:39 remaining. And now we'll see the extra point again by Flores. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So despite the Wildcats getting the offense struggling, I should say, a little bit, they come back after the penalty on the Red Devils, and they throw the touchdown strike, 63 yards in the score. And the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Kokomo on top of this one, 42-9. This is Richmond football and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Well, Wildcats coming out, throwing the football here tonight. Boy, if you're a spread offense guy, you like what you see tonight, don't you? They've played well.
I don't know if Clayton Raper's wishing that what he said about looking forward to this offense back yet, but
he
should be.
Maybe easier to defend in a lot of respects because you're more familiar with it, but just from the standpoint, you still will have to execute on defense, and you can't let those guys get behind you. And I don't know what kind of move that we saw Edwards make on his initial run, but he got behind the defender, and all you have to do is just throw it up and let him go get it. Well, every kick has been short here tonight by the Wildcats, so we'll expect nothing different again. Richmond really hasn't been able to capitalize at all offensively. All their points coming on special teams here tonight. Trayshawn, 30-35, and brought down and close to the 36-yard line. And that's where the Red Devils will take over 1st and 10. Well, the weather has kept a lot of the fans away here tonight. Still a few of the spirited ones remaining. So now Richmond will get the football. It has not been a great night for Zach Hill. Couple of interceptions, and Richmond still has yet to get into the end zone here in the first 3 quarters.
Excuse me.
It's been all special teams play that's gotten them the 9 points here tonight. So we'll see if this offense can get rolling as Richmond a man short on that offensive line. And no, that is not Dylan Seiler. That is Branton Thomas, who's in the offensive line now. Hand off, it'll be Bird. Find a hole across the 40. Gets hit pretty hard at about the 41. And quickly back up. There is Noah Cameron coming up to help make the stop. Looked like Adams there as well, the linebacker. It's good to have Bird back. They're going to need him next week.
Yes, it is good to have Bird back, but it is also good to have someone else in the backfield who can also take the ball after these big gains that Wyatt gets very often. Well, excluding this game, but having someone that you can rely on back in the pocket next to Zach Hill as well.
Holguin on the carry on the end around, and Holguin gets thrown for the loss. Nobody in the lead block as Noah Cameron was the first one there to throw him to the turf, and Richmond ain't able to get speed to the outside. Their gains have been between the tackles here in this one this evening. Well, you know what I find interesting, though, and again, Richmond's had their troubles throwing the football tonight, is why Richmond isn't throwing a little bit more right now. Maybe throwing something a little bit short, not trying to go too long, trying to dump maybe a pass or two here.
Zach does have the arm strength to get it down the field pretty well, and the rain has seemed to stop or slow down.
He missed another one on the snap. It's still loose. Richmond's going to get it back. You can see the rain or at least the wet portion of the turf flying up right there with players going on the turf, but there's another big loss. I think Zach just took his eye off that one.
It looked like a pretty decent snap, but then again, it could have been, he wasn't ready for it or he didn't call for it, it could have just been a loss.
Well, however you look at it, the Red Devils have had that happen a couple of times tonight, and now they're faced with another 4th down. Peterball will come in and punt it away again as Richmond's offense continuing to struggle here tonight. A low snap, no rush. Peterball dropped it again, and then finally will pick it up and punt it away as it'll go out of bounds on the far side. I still have to look at two things here, what Kokomo's been able to take away from Richmond offensively. Number one, no big plays in the first half into the third quarter. Number two, Holguin has not been a factor tonight. In fact, he was big last week, but he hasn't been big here tonight. You haven't seen anything out of Trayshawn Jones, what we saw last week. They've taken him out of the game. As I said earlier,
two receptions from Trayshawn.
But they basically have said, you know what? We're going to stop you throwing the football. And so they basically said, you can run it. That's all you're going to do tonight if you want to. But they've not given up anything big from a passing standpoint. So Wildcats will have it, 6:15 remaining here in the third quarter. Rabos will hand it off to Baker, cut back toward the middle, breaks another tackle, spins, 30, still on his feet, 30, wow. 25, 20, and Richmond just bad tackling there. Richmond unable to wrap up Baker, and he got another big gain out of that one. Well, Richmond's got some things to fix, and is that another flag? Or did he just place the spot? I say he just placed the spot of the football, but no penalty flag right there. You heard the 11-yard line here for the Wildcats as they knock on the door once again. 5:55 remaining here in the third. Baker again, the lone setback, 4 wide. They're split even to each side. Hash mark left, man in motion left to right. Baker over the left side. Baker, stiff arm, and he basically walked into the end zone.
Pretty close to just being untouched, just walking right through. Really quick, Troy, Marion is on top of Harrison 14-9 at the end of the third quarter. So they're a little bit ahead of us, but they probably started on time. So
yeah. Well, Marion ranked, I think, in the top 5 this week. Here's the extra point once again as Flores has had a busy night as the kicker for the Wildcats. This one will go across for the extra point. And again on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Red Devils trail this one 49-9. This is Richmond football and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
For the past 35 years, Van Vliet Insurance has built a reputation of bringing a personal touch. That's because at Van Vliet, it's all about you, your needs, your life, and our town. Along with providing quality coverage to individuals, families, and local businesses, we're proud of our community and the opportunity we have to protect your future within it. Van Vliet Insurance, an Erie Insurance representative. Hometown professionals at work for you.
There you see it, 49-9 is the Red Devils down by 40 here in the third quarter. And again, it's the lack of what the Red Devils have been able to do offensively here this evening. They just had nothing go their way all night long. Well, you know, the other thing, and I got to point this out, and it happens, but the Red Devils better find a way to tackle better than what they've done here tonight. They've let some of these plays go further than they really should have. This ball kicked deep this time. Hey, Flores says, you know what, I can kick it deep, and it's going to be dropped there by Trayshawn. Picks it up inside the 10 and able to get a return out to about the 25.
I'd say that's a pretty good return from where he, finally got the ball in his hands around, the 7 or 8 yard line?
Well, it caught us all off guard that they kicked it deep. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Richmond area Subways. Each day of the week you can get a different 6-inch sub. No artificial flavors or colors, only $3.50. Every Monday, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Tuesday, the oven-roasted chicken. And Wednesday, the turkey breast. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. So 5:33 remaining here in the third quarter. Richmond will get the football back, and it looks like we'll have a quarterback change. Hill is out, and another snap going through the hands of the quarterback. Snedeker unable to hold on to that one. Everybody's got thumbs all over the place. No fingers, just thumbs.
And actually, Alex's brother Aiden was just up here, and he was talking about how he couldn't move his hands after just sitting on the sideline. I can't imagine what some of these players are going through. Like,
you better find a way to get them warmed up.
When it gets cold, it hurts.
Yeah, well.
Everything hurts when it's cold, but.
You better find a way to warm up those fingers. Hey, by the way, Red Devils, I think that they made a change in the backfield as Wyatt Bird not in as well. And there's another fumble, and the Wildcats are going to get it. Jumping on the loose football, big number 90. That is Javeus Gray. And Richmond, another turnover deep in their own territory. Boy, well, okay, you switch from Zach, and now I guess he's kind of proven the fact that nobody can hold on to the football. Yeah. So now Snedeker, and he's unable to hold on to it.
Now let me ask you, Troy. At this point, do you think it could be Blaine Pierce's hand, and do you take him out and put him at right tackle?
I don't think it had anything to do with him there. I don't think that had anything to do with him at all. I think you just quarterbacks are, first off, not focusing on getting the ball first before they try to do anything, and that's
Jacob
been
Haynes comes into the formation late.
So now the Wildcats will pitch and try to run it around the right side, and they will not get much of a gain there, maybe one on the play.
Bryce Brown there got into the backfield, just couldn't quite pull off getting there quick enough. Missed him by a split second and a half.
That was Weiss on the carry, and so the big tight end will come back again. Bufkin will return to the lineup as the Wildcats will have it now, second down and goal from the 8-yard line, and now they will get that clock rolling once again here in the third. The play clock down to 6, so the Wildcats better hurry right here. They may not get this playoff in time, and then, well, now they restart it again. Robos to throw to the end zone, touchdown.
Not exactly why the clock got restarted instead of...
Well, there is Weesey there, Brady Weesey on the touchdown reception, and the Red Devils were claiming, at least Holguin was, that it was offensive interference. The official apparently said it was not, at another score for the Wildcats off a Richmond turnover. And so we'll see Flores come back in once again, 55-9. Line drive kick is on the way, and it is good. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, it is all Kokomo in this one as they lead the Red Devils 56-9 right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft-Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond.
Now the Red Devils will get the football back here. We still have, by the way, 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in the third quarter. That glare, who is that right there? Is that me? It's not showing up right at the moment. It will here in a minute.
You're paying attention more to the glare than you are yourself.
I am.
Or to the game.
Flores, a deep kick again. Here is Trayshawn from the 11. Trayshawn will be run out of bounds on the near side near the 27-yard line. And Richmond again changing quarterbacks to Alex Snedeker. Snedeker has not been at quarterback for, 3 weeks?
Marion, he got switched to receiver, and they put Julian Holguin in. Not sure which week that was. I know it was Marion, I'll say that much, so we'll leave it there.
Well, it's tough to put Snedeker in here in this situation where he hasn't had the reps over the last couple of weeks that Zach Hill has had. So now the football placed at the 20, right at the nose of the football at the 27. Snedeker started the year as the quarterback, will go under center, and here come the Wildcats, and they're smelling run, and they're smelling it just right. Not much there again for Richmond. Wyatt Bird got a couple of yards on the play, got stopped by big number 90 again, Gray. So they put the football right back at the 27-yard line. It'll be second down. And there's a guy over there that is flashing his flashlight, trying to get your attention all the way over there in the parking lot. You see him?
Well, he's got our attention.
I don't know what he's trying to do, but 3:35 remaining. Wyatt, the lone setback. Wyatt gets the call over the left side, and not much there again, but he keeps turning the legs, and that's about the 33.
And there's something we have not seen very much this year. Alex Snedeker lined up under center.
Yeah.
And
well, you know why?
Well, yeah.
We can't catch it out of the shotgun. Beats turning it over. At least the worst you can happen, you can just turn around and hand it off.
And it looks like Richmond's going to go to a huddle offense, which really they've been giving signals out and just been running their offense by signals and just yelling out calls, but it looks like they're changing everything here.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep from turning the football over. And by the way, Zach is not hurt. He's on the sidelines, and Richmond again trying to run the football, and Wyatt's going to be brought down from behind. There's just nothing they can do against this defense, and you're looking at fourth down again at about 6.
All right, here you go, Troy. I'll give you my opinion on what's going on here. May not be very accurate, but it's my opinion. All right, so what may have happened is they put Alec on the field as they were speaking to him about what's going to go on while Zach was on the field. So they may be bringing Zach Hill in a little bit later when they can talk through things with Zach. Alex Snedeker obviously on the sideline, so that may have cleared things up.
Peterbaugh will punt it away inside his own 20. Takes a look. I think he was thinking about taking off with it, too, as he punts this one to the near sideline. It goes out of bounds. Well, everybody was heading the other way. They go far enough.
They need to work in a fake there. I mean, everyone's snap goes and everyone runs backwards. That or hold on to it and then kick it as far as you can. See how far you can get it down the field.
Well, I figure you probably get a rear end chewing, but I go, hey, why not? Apologize later. I mean, I'm down 56-9. Might as well try something.
What do you have to lose? I mean, last time he took off, we didn't see him till today. So
yeah, that's right.
So maybe that's the thing that stopped him. We don't know.
Wildcats may be making a change at quarterback. Logan Cottle will come in. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 167 pounds. So the Wildcats making some changes here in the third with still 1:50 remaining. And a new running back in as well, and we'll try to pick up his number. That's number 24 who's checked in. That's going to be Andre Nash. He is a senior at 5'8", only 152 pounds.
Well, Troy, I don't see much more happening in this game, so I'm going to go ahead and say
You're going to make a prediction?
No, not again.
No.
Kokomo has lost their first 5 games of the season, and it looks like they're about to go into sectional play with 4 straight wins and a whole lot of momentum.
Nash over the right side of the 40. I think, well, there's a flag down. I think that was a very wise thing to say.
Well, I think it's very mean that you're being sarcastic. You're a very mean person.
I was going to say thank you, Mr. Obvious, but I didn't.
You're a very mean person.
Mean as you can
and
get.
I'm tired of it.
I know you are. That flag is going to go against the Wildcats. Hey, if you think I'm mean right now, wait till I start the car and you can't get in and we take off. You'll be chasing us down the street.
Calling my lawyer. I ain't running.
Get your little workout in before you get home. Well, the penalty will be marked off here. This could be a kind of a sloppy way to finish out this game. We still got another quarter to go, though the clock is down to the final 10 here in the third. They may not get one more. They won't even have to get one more play off, and we're going to head to the fourth quarter. Well, we put another one in the books, and it's been all Kokomo here tonight as the Red Devils trail it on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, 56-9. This is Richmond football, and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Are you looking for the right place to work out, a place where you have several choices and can have fun at the same time? Well, that place is right here in Richmond, Family Fitness Works. Family Fitness Works has spinning, Zumba, kickboxing, core works, kick fit, body pump, body flow, and much, much more. And don't forget, Family Fitness Works also has Richmond's most extensive free weights and Nautilus in the area. Check out their website at familyfitness.com or stop by at 213 North 3rd Street in Richmond.
Back once again here in Kokomo as we are now into the fourth quarter, and the Wildcats on top of this one, 56-9. So we'll see if maybe we've been seeing, at least in the last couple of games, where the teams have agreed to run that clock in the fourth quarter. We'll see if they'll do it again in this fourth period once things get rolling. You what?
I want to go home.
I know. We're actually in pretty good shape. Game's only 2 hours right now. A little over 2 hours. Hand off, and it's fumbled, and the ball is loose. And I think the Wildcats will get it back at the 40. Yardage-wise, Wildcats, 366 yards of total offense. The Red Devils now with a, minus 17? 33 offensive plays and a minus 17 yards of total offense tonight for the Red Devils. And by the way, Rabos, 12 of 17, 269 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Just take a minute here to look at Gage Pewterball's stats just punting. 5 attempts for 186 yards already.
I'll take it. Wildcats will run it again. Here's your senior on the carry. That's Andre Nash. Nash again at about the 40. Well, somehow, again, next week's not a guarantee. Let's make sure we're very clear about that. Though you beat Connorsville earlier this year, you're going to go back down there again.
Not the same team.
It's not the same team, not the same situation. They want to extend their season if they can. Richmond's going to have to do a much better job. Somehow they're going to fix this offense for next week.
Thank you, Mr. Obvious.
Yeah, I know. Fixing it may be easier said than done, though. What is even more amazing, here comes the blitz, and Richmond will get a loss right there, as that was Branton Thomas. We can kind of joke and laugh about it, but the thing is, this is a much different football team we see tonight than we saw last week. Richmond's got to be able to throw the football, and they weren't able to do that tonight. Kokomo did everything, daring them to throw the football. And I know that Wyatt had a couple of good runs here this evening, but it didn't last. There wasn't enough consistency in it.
And this may be the first punt of the night we see, even though they've tried 2 or 3 times.
Well, they got a better snap here. Richmond's going to rush and almost came
blocked.
up with it, yeah. That'll take a Kokomo bounce and will finally be down. I think they're going to put it at about the 32-yard line.
And Troy, real quick, let's just take a second to go to Anderson. McCutcheon now leading Anderson 41-16. Marion still on top of Harrison 14-9.
After the punt, the ball is on the 32-yard line.
We'll see if I can get an update on that Centerville game here.
And
Josh Fern is covering that for us tonight.
Connorsville still looking for their first win of the regular season against Batesville, but very good Batesville going into the game 6-2.
Snedeker back under center after and he fumbled it again. Well, one thing you better do is you better maybe take an extra half a second and hold on to that football. As we haven't.
The only problem with doing that, though, Troy, is our offensive line has not been the greatest tonight, and that extra second could, give quarterback.
Well, what's your other option? Fumbling it? Yeah. Second down and about 12 now as Richmond again trying to get something positive. Here is Wyatt over the left side, 35-40, the cutback, and Wyatt gets a nice gain into Kokomo territory down to about the 41-yard line. Well, now Kokomo, they've replaced everybody on that defense, so we're working against basically a junior varsity squad and probably a lot of freshmen in there too.
Kokomo 42-yard line. First and 10, Richmond.
Yeah, in fact, they just brought in another freshman. 7:30 to go in this one. Now, the other thing you don't like right there is Richmond just kind of walked there to the line of scrimmage.
And a big thing for Richmond coaches in general, all of them, is body language.
Yeah, it's
we
not
have
good.
A coach up in the top of the press box, and I was talking to him at halftime, and he was talking about body language and how he does not want to see people walking around on the field and stuff like that, and I completely agree with him. That's a sign of defeat in my book.
Yeah, you're right, and that'll be a big factor next week in practice and their preparation, getting ready for the first round of the sectional. Otherwise, if you go into that game next week, we'll be thinking it'll be one and done. See, and I just didn't like the way they walked to the line of scrimmage right there. 6:37 remaining in this one. Richmond will, for the second straight year, not win a conference football game. Hand off up the middle and to the outside, and here's Allen, and Allen's going to score. And that'll be a 40-yard touchdown run for the Red Devils. First offensive score here tonight for Richmond.
Touchdown, Richmond.
We will take it any way you can get it when you're thinking about trying to find something here in this one. And Kokomo's pretty much emptied off their bench here in the fourth quarter. And they're going to run the clock. It's, again, on the move here in the fourth, which is, again, good for Richmond. So now the extra point. Here's the positive. It's Pewter Boys. He's been the positive here tonight. If there's been one thing you're looking at, it's been him, because he's going to make a difference somewhere next week, I have a feeling. We'll take a timeout on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Red Devils trail this one 56-16.
Indiana University East is growing. Enrollment has doubled since 2007, and IU East is the university of choice in this region, with athletic programs, internship opportunities, bachelor's and master's degrees, and a growing number of degree programs on campus and online. It is easy to see why IU East is a leader on campus and in the community. Learn more about the many opportunities Indiana University East offers at iue.edu. IU. Focused on you.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
We are in the fourth quarter. It's still 4:12. Well, they're running the clock, so however you look at it, it's down to the last 4 minutes, and Richmond will lose the final game of the regular season, go into the tournament trying to get some momentum going after that tough loss last week, and then pretty much being, they were dominated here tonight. There's no doubt about that. It's been all Kokomo from the very beginning, but Pewterbaugh will give you some hope from the kicking game standpoint, which has been non-existent for the Red Devils for the last several weeks. And again, that's not a knock, as we talked about John Carter. He's just not quite ready to take on that role.
And real quick, taking a trip over to Harrison. Harrison scoring, I'm assuming a safety, gaining 2 points, making it a 3-point lead by Marion, 14-11. Very close game as of right now. Marion still undefeated.
By the way, Centerville is losing their game, 5 minutes remaining, so it looks like Knightstown shutting out Centerville 21-0. So Knightstown is going to spoil a few people's party here this evening. Some of those who were hoping for a 4-way tie are going to find out that's not going to happen now. But it was a fun thought going in. That's one thing about it. You don't want to wait till the last game of the year and hope to get some help, because generally those teams are not going to help you out much at all. Jewel Taylor will get the tackle on the carry, number 42, and that is Clint Eastwood, the unknown man.
Ethan Marciniak with the carry.
2:19 to go. We'll, thanks to Terry Downham tonight, we'll have final stats when we walk out of here, and the Red Devils may end up breaking even here tonight because of that run on the touchdown. In fact, they might even come out ahead by a few yards. Out of the gun once again for the Wildcats, Jacob Jones will get the tackle. I think that football may have come loose. If not, we got a pile on that young man, and they say Richmond did get it back. So fumble on the carry by the Wildcats, and Richmond will take over the football with 1:33 to go. I think Richmond, I didn't see you jumped on that football either. I thought maybe at first it was, I think it was Branton Thomas. Brant again changing the number from.
Not completely sure, but they were in a white top. So
they were that's all we care about. Red Devils now have a chance here with Snedeker back in at quarterback. First down and 10 with a minute remaining. Richmond has scored just on one offensive possession here tonight. Handoff and nowhere to go for Allen this time. Allen scored on that touchdown run a couple of moments ago. And Richmond may get one or perhaps two more chances right here. And we will close it out here pretty quick and get on our horse home. And to remind you, next week we'll be on the air at 6:30 with a pregame. Don't forget, early in the week we'll have Inside Richmond Football with Tony Lewis, the only show in town that we talk with the head coach. So Alec again will turn in the handoff, and this time they're not going to let Allen go, and that's going to do it for this one here tonight. Well, some regrouping to do for next week, and they're going to have to put it together pretty quick as the Red Devils lose it here tonight by a final score of 56-16. Thanks for being with us. As the Red Devils back home next week, or I should say on the road next week in the first round of the sectional tournament at Connorsville, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock the kickoff. All the action right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. Thanks for being with us. This has been Richmond Football, Radio Troy Digital Sports.